enough.
I should have guessed. When he said lava, I was like, you know what? That sounds like Minecraft.
Okay. I'm not sure if this is his team, but he's got a cool clan tag in the top left. It's Twisted Classic.
Oh, man. Incredible stuff. And in the top right of Equilibrium, it is dark.
Is it just me, or is this map very gray?
It is. Like, everything's a little bit muted with the colors, right?
Which I didn't even know map makers could have such an effect on that, but they can.
Yeah, I think they can control the saturation of the colors, because I've seen maps with like super duper high saturated colors and maps like this where everything is just, you know, kind of grayscale.
Yeah, there's the ones that make you wonder if you're suddenly colorblind or if your monitor cable's like a little pulled out, so it's missing
you're like,
color.
what happened? What happened to us?
Yeah. We are lucky that Dark wanted to play. He messaged me like 7 hours ago though, and he's like, "Oh, I can't play. I've got something else going on." And then he's like messages me like 2 hours later, and he's like, "Did you find a replacement?" I'm like, "No, I didn't." And he's like, "Oh, okay, I can play, but I think he's not playing on his home PC, so."
Oh,
or something.
That's interesting. Yeah, that's really interesting.
But
okay.
Dark's a good Zerg anyway, so I think if anyone can overcome that obstacle, that's gonna be Dark.
Yeah. That's the thing. Dark is just terrifying no matter what. Early game, late game, cheese.
Ooh.
Yep. Taking the gold base as his third base. With a rich Vespine geyser as well, so double income for gas and minerals.
My gosh, have we had that on a map before? A rich Vespine and a gold?
No, I think this is the first time. I did cast a game on this when the map first came out, and I was like, oh, look at that. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's not exploitable in any way.
Yeah. No, but it's super vulnerable. I mean, look at that. Not even your like your backside's wide open, your front side's wide open. Like, you can't defend this. Not that Zerg really care about walls.
Yeah, from a scouting perspective, I imagine that's a little bit of a hiccup, though, because if you see a Zerg taking like a gold base, usually it's like, oh, it's going to be a Ling Flood. In this case, it could be something that uses gas. But that's interesting. Classic sending the Adept out across the map. No surprise there. Wants to be able to harass any potential mining at that gold base.
Yeah, what's his plan going to be to get rid of that? I mean, an Adept can't do anything to a hatchery, well, other than whittle its health down very, very slowly.
Yeah, this is one of those mind games, because as the Zerg, you know the Protoss is going to try and shut it down. Classic has an Oracle on the way, which is a good tool for harassing these outer bases. Drones and lings coming down.
Here come 4 lings, which is enough to handle 1 Adept, but not 2.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Just, okay, maybe. Okay, so we're gonna...
Okay, gets
nice
2
positioning.
Drones, cancels the shade. Spore Crawler's repositioning. That Oracle should be crossing the map relatively soon. But Dark did let that Spore finish, so while Classic got 4 drones here, that's all the damage he's going to get with those 2 Adepts.
And both Adepts die without getting out. That's not good.
No, it is not. And now Dark can try and get as many drones as possible on that base. The Oracle might try and intercept some, or just try and get some out of base. Activates the Pulsar Beam, gets a Creep Tumor, gonna get 2 drones and get out with the Oracle, but is this enough to stop Dark?
I'm gonna go with no. My answer to that question is a distinctive negative.
Okay, Ling's gonna be harassing that third base of Classic. There is an Adept and an Oracle in the sky above, though. But yeah, Dark has got away with this gold base, it seems. He's now got a layer on the way. We'll see what sort of tech he's going to use to try and utilize this economic boost that he has.
Yeah, curious to see what his answer is going to be here.
My gosh, look at that. He just built 11 drones, and he's just going.
Yeah, man. Already at 45 workers, just pumping out drones, making lings a little bit here. Got extra queens on the way. And
Oh.
Classic's on 3 bases here. Ooh, a Nidus. Nidus Network on the way here.
Yeah, dark means business. Now, Classic has a lot of gateways that are going to be finishing up momentarily, but it's going to be very important that he shuts this down. He does scout out the Overseer that's crossing the map. That could be a bit of a tip-off. He's flying towards the natural. He does see the Nidus, and now he's going to be a panicking Protoss.
Yeah, this is not looking good. So just a Ling Queen Nidus. Intriguing. Alright, Ling's obviously historically very good against Stalker, but a little bit of Oracle support can help with that. The Overseer kind of just wants to die. Is it distracting? Oh, look at that.
It is, yeah.
Overseer, yeah, gets sniped. Look at these Lings, man. Triple Oracle, though, which is the standard number these days for PvZ, shooing away those Lings, and then a Nidus Swarm erupts.
Look at this, though. Dark doesn't even send out too many queens. Now he's bringing
There
them out.
we go.
I think he's transitioning already, though.
Yeah, I got a Hydra Den coming up back home, throwing down an Evolution Chamber for upgrades, and yeah, okay, so Hydra Ling versus Stalker. Oh, yeah, man. Stalker Oracle here. The Oracles do not want to get anywhere near those Queens. This is going to be an interesting battle, that's for sure. Oh, Queens disappear inside the Nidus, and it's going to be shot down very, very easily because of the Stalker's bonus against Armored, which all buildings are.
Yeah, now Dark's transitioning into these Hydras. He did commit a decent amount to that rush, and he's only on 58 workers, but then he's got the gold effect and the high income gas, so it's like he's still ahead on income a little bit as he goes for 12 Hydras.
Yo. So it's going to be Hydra Ling here. No sign of a Baneling nest, but Hydra Ling Queen. Hydras trade pretty good against Stalkers, especially with the support of Zerglings. Ling's just trying to be like, okay, we're good against Stalkers. We need a little bit more support here. And here's that backside attack. You can just come in from this area and get right in
blink
there. Oh, nice pin. The Hydras are getting mown down.
Yeah, the lack of creep behind these bases or connecting them is a big factor here too. Oracle's positioned nicely for Classic, avoiding that spore, but trying to get on top of the Lings. And Classic is all of a sudden really going for this. I think it's not going to work out. He gets some drones, takes a decent trade, but behind this he did have his 4th base on the way.
Yeah, this is looking okay for Classic. Ooh. Man, he's really not worried about this Hydra Ling stuff. Although, is that another dead Oracle? Yeah, two Oracles have gone down. The 3rd one is still alive here, but out of energy and trying to... No blink available. Wait, is there blink available on these guys? There is. Yep,
and
there it is.
And he blinks forward.
And going back home now. So armor value is 56 to 27, though, in favor of Dark. That is not looking good. Hydra speed's finishing up now. About 10 seconds to go on that. No drones being produced. This is 57 drones. This is Hydra, Ling, Let's Rock. Plus a missile attack finishing up about the same time. So fast Hydras with attack upgrades. Going to make a move here.
Yeah.
And what is charges on the way here from Classic? A good answer, but it's not going to be done for a minute.
No, yeah, 20 Hydras already out. Charge, as you said, not on the way, and Classic traded out 20 Stalkers there in that attack. That is a lot of losses. 11. There was dead Lings and a bit of economic damage too, but it's still a little bit worrisome. We see probes being pulled as a Nidus attempt is going off in the main base. Darker player not to let a tool like that sit idle. Classic not warping in any units to help deal with this either. He's busy just going for an offensive push. He sees that there's a lot of Hydras defending, so he's probably not too worried, and he's rightfully so, as that does not get unloaded. Guardian Shield, big effect there as it helps guard these Stalkers from the Hydra shots, but that expires, and Stalkers versus Hydras, man, doesn't work out.
Doesn't work out. Ling versus Hydra, Stalker versus Hydra does not work out. Sentry's getting picked off there too. Nice target firing. Gold base rich vesting guys are helping out Classic here. 4th base here from Dark. Any sign of a 5th base? No, but he's droning up again. He's behind 57 to 73 workers now. And just pumping out Hydras. If there's no splash damage from Classic on the way, I don't know. But Shard is finished, so that will help out against these Hydras and Lings.
Yeah, that's crazy though. Like, Hydras just kind of melt Zealots, don't they? Like, unless it's a really good surround or something.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, It's just the Zealots, if they close the distance quickly on those Hydras are glass cannons. Anything that hits them really does a pretty good job against them.
Yeah.
Part of me, this is part of the Brood War Falcon talking. Like, Zealots against Hydras are really good. So they're probably not as good here. You just don't see that battle a lot, I guess,
Classic,
in the current meta.
Bringing the Prism to the front with his army too, so he just wants to warp in Zealots and go for it, it seems. I was expecting him to go for some sort of harassment in the main with that. Nope, he is fully committed. He's got a Templar Archives on the way, which will help him spend his gas later on, but for now, he's moving in with his 1-1 upgrades. The Zerg is about to have 2 zeros, so it will be equal upgrades. Classic can maybe get this base, but I don't know if he should try and get more than that.
I was going to say, where's his splash? As this engagement comes in, the Zealots want nothing to do with this. You're right. Way too many Hydras. War Prism's going to die if it's not careful here. Not actually getting target fired, however, and it is fast enough to run away from these Hydras off creep especially. Storm is on the way. So that's going to be the splash of choice here from Classic, is the Psionic Storm with High Templar. He's got a minute before it shows up. I imagine he's chronoing that because here come 100 Hydralisks, man.
Yeah, Classic really delayed his tech. Dark's going to utilize that Nidus once more. Hydra's now shooting from the high ground. And Dark just followed Classic all the way home, and now he's got to deal with this Zerg force.
Oh,
and
that's
look
a
at
dead
this position,
Nexus.
too, for Dark. This is the anti-Zealot position right here.
It is. Zealots have a hard time. He throws up a Nidus to block their approach, which is awesome, too. Not really focusing the Nexus, which I find interesting, going after this 4th base or 5th base as well.
Look at this. This is the worst composition in the world to have right now for Classic. Okay,
except for the Storm.
Yeah, Storm is pretty good, but Dark's doing a great job splitting. There's 4 Storms. There's maybe 2 more left, and look at this. The Zealots have just been bogged up behind each other. They're charging into a concave of the Zerg. Classic, I think, is going to run out of steam trying to break through this.
Yeah, it's 118 to 40 army supply. That's the stutter step forward, and that's your GG. Dark takes game 1. The Hydroling Roach composition.
Yeah, well done by Dark.
Woo! That was a very jam-packed 12-minute game there. Yeah, Classic. I don't know why his splash damage tech was so late. Especially since he saw Hydralisks and Lings, which are very, very, very susceptible to storms. I don't know. That was kind of a weird game number 1, that's for sure. All right, let's rock it. Let's head into number 2. Again, thank you, Phoenix of War, and thank you, Korean name, for clicking the claim code button. 25 cents each, and the $25 donation directly from Phoenix of War to these players. Everybody involved here is going to appreciate that support from our viewers and viewers like you. So appreciate it. And again, this is 4 GSL winners playing against each other. It's been a while for Classic, as we talked about kind of before we got the stream started and the game started, but he's definitely really good. And we're on... Oh, crap. How do we pronounce this map name?
I know, exactly. It's a problem.
Should have looked it up.
We do this. We're gonna do this every time we cast this map.
I know.
Gonna do this every match until the end of time, in which map makers give us easier to pronounce names or phonetically pronounced ones.
Seriously, it's Alcyone. It's something like that. We figured it out last time.
Alcyone?
It was weirder. I'm gonna look it up here. But let's do this first.
Okay, so he had an interesting idea there, but it just didn't work out. In the top right, it's Classic.
And in bottom left, it is Dark. Looking pretty good, unsurprisingly. So, actually, no. Aki sent me a pronunciation thing for it. That's right. She sent me it. Okay, here we go. Alcyone. You were right. It is Alcyone.
Yes, I remembered.
You did. Good job. I didn't remember. It's my fault. I'm sorry for the confusion. Alcyone it is. Okay, so what's the play here, Dark? Doing anything weird? Going for any fast hatches like Cyril does to prevent the hatch block? No. He's actually expanding out to the gold again.
Wow.
So, okay. He's like, who needs a natural base? You block that all you want, Classic. I'm going to take my second base way over here, far away from home.
Oh
Very
gosh.
dangerous place.
This is giving me flashbacks to, I think, the last Afreeca world in which someone had a proxy in the top right here, and I think it was Cure, or no, it would have been Ryung, I don't think, scouted it.
Right. Just had no idea.
But look at this, Classic scouts it because he's against Dark, and he knows.
Good man.
Okay, there's the drone transfer to that hatchery. I wonder if you
Very
could, like,
brave little drones.
I wonder if you could build 2 pylons and block the drone transfer.
I bet he could if he wanted to.
I mean, it's not like you can just pull 200 minerals out of thin air, but it's like, I wonder if it's doable, and I wonder if it's worth it.
That's always the question. All right, well, still blocking that second base a little bit, forcing Ling to respond to it at least. Oh, actually wants to knock down this debris.
Yeah.
I guess it gives him a little bit better access to defend it.
Yeah, otherwise the Adept could just bounce back and forth, I suppose. And
Yeah.
that wall is down, so that times out pretty nicely for Dark.
Yeah, Adept shades out of there, does not like that whatsoever. Pylon block,
Nice.
and gets a drone and a Ling. Woo! Adept on fire here. Really good micro early game here from Classic. Twilight Council coming in pretty quick. We'll see what the play is there. Not going to be a Stargate opening, which sometimes can be an invitation from Mutas.
Yeah, resonating glaives, so Classic is really planning on shutting down this Zerg as quick as possible. However, Dark got a Ling into Classic space, and he did see the Twilight, and he's a good enough Zerg that he would have seen that researching. So Dark should know about this.
Well, I mean, that could be charged, though, right?
Yeah.
You can't tell what the research is just because you see the Twilight Council blinking. I mean, I don't know. Like, what do you look at here to know that it's one or the other, is my question.
Yeah, I don't know, honestly. I think it's just that Adepts are a little bit more common, maybe. Or
maybe.
They're both kind of similar rushes. Oh, look at this. Dark was going for the drone
play!
wall.
It's the drone drill to get through the wall. Beautiful force field, keeping those Lings out. Second wall coming up behind it. Force field doesn't last forever. There it is. Cybercore getting sniped. Does prevent any more Adepts from being warped in, and that's what Classic's trying to do here. Yo! Okay, but the second wall, force field, is it available on that sentry? That's a question. No. Man, can he get in there is the question, too.
No, I don't think so. And these Adepts are going to have glaives soon enough as well. So they'll just tear through these Zerglings.
Gotta rebuild the Cybercore, which he did. There we go. So very smartly. Dark Shrine on the way from Classic. Maybe feeling a little bit behind. A Baneling Nest on the way from Dark to deal with these Adepts.
Okay, the Adepts barely make it inside. Looks like one will go down. Resonating Glaives now has been shown to Dark. He's still just going for it, though, with that Baneling Nest. Going to be a Baneling bust to try and catch the Protoss off guard.
Dude,
Dark's,
22 Lings on the way.
Yeah, Dark's hoping that Classic is thinking about a minute later in the game. Dark's thinking about just ending it pretty much now. As he moves on in with his Lings, he's going to try and get through that door and go for a surround. He doesn't really get too much, though. The Adepts get a good trade.
Yeah, I don't think these Lings have gotten a lot of work done. The Baneling Nest is done. Where are the Banelings? There we go. Now they're getting fired up here. 5 Banelings. That's all he wants. And he is sitting on 23 workers, man, and just really throwing up these Lings. 7 Banelings now. 2 more added on. Adepts kind of see what we're dealing with. See the Banelings waddling about. I think he caught a glimpse of that. He's sending the Adepts across. Some of them. Ooh, do the rest of them go? Or do
They
pull
do.
back?
Classic does not catch wind of this. All of a sudden, an Adept has eaten some Banelings for breakfast. A fast sentry warp, and though should protect his natural base, so the third's going to be under fire. The Adepts are actually just crossing the map for Classic, so this is entering base trade scenario. Lings versus
certainly
Adepts. There's
All right.
DTs though, so Classic takes it.
Oh, very nice. A little bit too much of an all-in there from Dark, I think.
Yeah, didn't quite come
And
together.
no, and beautiful DT play there. I mean, just a fast Dark Shrine, DTs on his side of the map defending. Maybe going to send some across the other side of the map too. I'm not sure if Dark had any detection whatsoever. He was putting so much money into Lings and Banes and not really droning up, or static defense was the furthest thing from his mind. And Classic ties it up 1-1 in this best of 5. Excellent. Protoss fans everywhere just cheering wildly for that result.
Yay! Well, as far as Korean Cups go, we've got Hero and we've got Classic. So Protoss fans are doing pretty good.
True facts. Not having a bad time. What's up, Psycons? What's up, Saikasuka? Saikasuka, I think is how we would say that. What's up? Master of DT Classic. Yeah. Fair, fair. And you're welcome for the free content, man. You can support these players by going to the Match Arena link at the top of the chat there for a free... Yeah, use that claim. There's a button. You don't have to remember a code if it's been a while since you've been here, so...
Been literal years since they had a code, and we still call it a code.
We do.
Old habits die hard, and in the top left, we have got Classic.
And in the bottom right, he's blue. It's Dark.
On the map, Oceanborn in this PVZ.
Oceanborn. But yeah, that's good. God, you gotta love about Dark, man. He'll do crazy stuff like try to Baneling bust a Resonating Glaive Adept Protoss, just like, you know, I would, honestly. I'd probably lose just the same.
Like 12 pool to Protoss?
Yeah, or like 12 pool to Protoss. Right, Dark's crazy, man. He's great. All right, well, Classic blocking the hatch. It's like, all right, how long do I need to stay down here before I need to go scout what's going on inside the main?
Well, yeah, he's like, where's that drone? Okay,
Here we
something's
go.
up. No drone.
Yep. So he's going to scout this, which honestly...
Wait.
Oh, he's not going to scout this. You were scouting! Okay, bye.
And Dark's going for a drone across the map, so he's going for a hatchery with this too, right?
Yes, sir. This feels like Proxy Queen Spinecrawler Rush shenanigans out of Dark, you madman. Ah, I love it. He's
Yeah.
gonna... But he can't hide it, and now the probe is scouted the early... Yeah, he knows. Classic, at this point, has the greatest idea as to what's going on possible.
Yeah, looks like Dark tried to get a hatchery in a spot to block any further walling,
Oh.
but that's right on the outside, so like a Cybercore or a Pylon will complete this wall, and
Yep.
this hatch is going to block Dark's Lings from getting to the Cybercore, so...
This is not looking good.
No, this is looking like a failed rush.
Hey, thanks Omicron, Psycons, and Michael for clicking that claim code button, which is that's what they call it on the Matcherino website. Aki checked for us.
Oh, it actually is called that.
That's hilarious. All right, so yeah, 1 Zealot and 2 probes is not actually enough to kill this hatch, which is why a third one comes around the outside to do that. Still not enough. I think that gateway is going to die, but not before a second Zealot pops, and there we go. Now this hatch is going to die, unless... There we go. The Lings get in. Nice snipe on a probe. The hatchery's going to finish. It's going to be very injured, though. Now the Zealots have to decide. Do we want to kill this hatchery? Do we want to kill these Lings? What is our priority right now?
I think Dark's going to cancel the hatch anyway, right? Like...
I mean, no?
Like, Dark
Definitely
is a
not.
madman. He's like, yeah, it's got 200
no!
HP.
Lings getting inside the house. That's not good. Shield batteries coming up. When those things finish, that's going to be a massive boon to Classic here. There we go. These Zealots are functionally
Oh my
immortal,
gosh,
so the Lings
more Lings
don't even
running
try.
That's
We're not even getting speed, dude. Dark is trying to slow-ling this thing. Shield battery.
It's gone though. It's
out of
juice.
energy.
Classic lost all his production. More Lings are on the way. Did Dark just win with the most basic rush? Yeah, Classic has 1 Zealot to his name against 20 Zerglings.
And they're slow Zerglings, the worst unit in the game. I cannot believe Dark is winning this with slow Zerglings.
Classic has
What
got to
the
be
heck?
hating his life right now. He's not going to give up. He's got an Adept about halfway done, and 1 Adept can work wonders against slow Lings. He might have to run his probes around a little bit. But there's more Lings coming across the map. There's that Adept that's going to have to shade to stay alive.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's surrounded. That's got to be it.
That's it. GG! What a game 3. My goodness, this series has been bonkers already. Man, 3 games in. Woof. Slowlings, a proxy hatch, and a dream.
Yeah, that was... Dark is such a dirty Zerg, man.
Who does that? Dark, that's who. He's the only Zerg who's going to do that. The only, like, elite Zerg. Go. See, now, this is the kind of stuff that inspires Zerg players to try this on ladder. And then they lose, like, the next 5 times they try it. And they're like, this is garbage. Like, well, Dark can do it. Just play like Dark. I mean...
Yeah, and I mean, I totally called that wrong. I'm like, oh, Dark's probably going to cancel that hatchery and transition out of this. And it's like, no, he's Dark. He's like, yeah, 200 HP. That'll throw Classic off enough that I'll get some lings in and kill the gateways.
Well, and the broodlings, too. They really helped kill those zealots.
They did.
So if you cancel the hatch, you don't get the broodlings. That was probably a big part of it. Not. So we're on hard lead for game number 4. It is a best of 5. So one more win here for Dark, and he's going to move on to our best of 7 finals. Classic's got to win twice in a row here against Dark, which is honestly a tall order, but here he is in the top left. He's red, and this is hard lead the map. Hard lead the map, I think that's what we said. No?
Hard lead, right?
Hard lead is what we settled on. Yeah.
And on the bottom right, it's Dark. He's going for the cheese again. You can tell that Dark is playing not on his normal setup because he's all about these quick wins.
I guess.
I mean, he's always about that, but like this is every game he's gone for some sort of shenanigans.
Right.
And I think that shows a little bit. Not that Classic necessarily knows that. So he's just going for it again. Dark's like, let's keep flipping that coin, man.
Even with game 1, it was pretty all in with Hydro Ling Roach. Like, he was not really droning up a lot behind
Yeah,
that.
well, he opened with the gold base, so it's...
Yeah. Which, I mean, you can open to the gold base and go into a super macro play. You don't have to be crazy aggressive with it. But generally, I guess you are. Is this another proxy? It is. All right, man. All right, Dark. I don't know if I trust any other Zerg to do this.
Okay.
Oh. And Bob. Okay, well, that's a fun place for it.
Yeah, not on the wall, so the Zealot will have to pull away from the wall. And Dark, oh, he's just droning behind this. He's the smartest man alive.
It takes so long for Slowlings to get across the map. So long. But here they come. You see them down there? Yep. Traipsing along. Here we go. So about 4 to 5 probes and a Zealot should be able to kill it. Yeah, bringing another probe down. Classic knows what's up. 5 probes and a Zealot. And the Lings are here. And that's not going to finish. Quick, rewall. That's not... Oh, gosh.
This is... Yeah, I was going to say, that's an odd-looking wall by the Protoss. And now the Lings can bounce around, let this hatchery get up. All the while Dark has got another hatch going up back at home, transitioning.
That hatch is going to finish. Whether or not it's able to provide any real value for Dark or not, I don't know. Once again, it's going to be like another 200, 300 HP hatchery and nothing pops. Not a lot going on here.
I think he lets it finish just because it'll delay the natural so much.
Yep. And, ooh, good snipe on a pro.
Oh my gosh, Dark, stop doing the opposite. I mean, keep doing the opposite of what I say. It just goes to show I know nothing about Zerg.
Man, I don't even know what his motivation was for canceling that. Why?
I guess 300 minerals to start up a hatch back at home and...
Fair enough.
Drone, drone, drone.
Yeah, the refund is nice in a situation where you're sitting on, 15 workers.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah.
Adepts, 2 gateways, Adepts on the way. Slowlings and Queens going to have to defend against this. The Zealot marching his way across the map as well. 12lings in production. Still no gas, mind you. No gas opening from Dark here. 3 hatches, a pool. That is his entire play. He says, I can defeat you with Slowlings, which again are the worst units in the game. I guess Queens are involved, and Queens are awesome, so... But now you got to chase Adept Shades around with Slowlings and Queens? This sucks. Yeah, I mean, this third base might just get straight up canceled.
Yeah, he's got a good number of lings out, though. And
Okay.
Classic has to respect this and go on home.
Yeah, look at him walking these queens off creep, too, getting effective work done with them. He needs to spread that creep. There we go. Spreading that creep over to that third base is of the utmost priority right now. Overlord scouts in, says, yeah, absolutely nothing in your main. That's good. Good to know.
Yeah.
But Twilight Council is on the way again. Probably going to be Resonating Glaives. Like, I mean, I guess he got Charge in game 1, Resonating Glaives in game 3.
Yeah, look at this. The Overlord comes in, scouts the Twilight, so he knows it's not any, like, Void Ray shenanigans, that sort of thing.
Yep, doesn't have to invest in spores.
And he just fires up a Roach Warren immediately. Dark is only just taking his gases now. He's been focused on just pumping out drones, queens, and lings. And now he's going to be able to get up that gas.
Dark Shrine. That's another Dark Shrine. Classic says, I won with DTs. I can do it again. Believe in me. And Dark says, okay, I'll believe in you. That doesn't mean you're going to win. Yeah, I love this. Third base defended against like infinite lings in that position with those adepts, especially with Resonating Glaives coming in. This beautiful SimCity setup here. And what's Dark's play going to be? Roaches? He is getting a spore. He is concerned about flying units and or Dark Templars showing up.
Yeah, he's got the lair on the way now too, so he will have detection. Classic doesn't have a robo on the way either, so he's not trying to get like a super quick prism to go along with this. He's just going to fire a blink behind this. And I guess just going to macro after hoping that DTs work wonders for him, but he sees the spore, so he knows he's not going to get too much done. Adepts move in, they try and snipe a queen, but Transfuse saves it. And that Shade is going to complete at the natural base, trading out with the lings, but there's roaches as well, which are not as easy for adepts to deal with.
No, roaches are a great answer here, although adepts did just burn down 2 roaches. It's damage, it's not a lot, but it's fast.
Yeah, some denied mining time as a few of the adepts get transferred to that third base. So Cossack trying to split up the Zerg. He's not targeting with those adepts at the third base, which is unfortunate. There's potential for a lot of damage there. He does that now, so he's starting to get a few kills, but it's just 1 adept left there. He's going to get 6 drones, 7 drones, and climbing. Ends up with 8 before that attack gets shut down. Now moves in the DT, maybe hoping to sneak by a Spore Crawler and get some damage done. We'll see if he can pull that off.
It is 43 to 12 army supply right now, LaughNgamez, for Dark. That is a huge advantage.
Yeah, that's generally a bad sign for the Protoss. We do see one of the DTs move towards this third, but Overseer's now done. Classic's going to try and get one of those DTs out. The other will perish too.
Yeah, some lost mining time there, but not a big deal. Stalker's now getting warped in for Classic, trying to get that army supply up. But I mean, again, 50 to 14 army supply. If Dark, I don't know, if he moves across the map, he can get a lot of work done here. I'm not sure it's necessarily a win, but he's firing up 20 lings as well, getting a 4th base. And I think at some point you just got to be like, we got to go. Maybe wait for speed to finish. Metabolic boost and glial reconstitution.
Yeah, it's not a good position for the Protoss to be in, trying to contend with the Zerg production when starting from scratch, basically, is what Classic did. With such a low army supply, even if he hits all his warp-ins perfectly, it just takes so long for him to build up that army supply. He's got 1 shield battery. We'll see if he makes some more. But Dark is planning on ending this game. 8 Ravagers just morphed. He's been making a plethora of Zerglings. And Classic is potentially going to be a dead nerd in the next 30 seconds or so.
Yo.
Okay, this army gets spotted. Classic all of a sudden going to have to microwave. Gets seen, but it does not get spotted.
I love there's a Spire coming up behind this, but man, Classic is kiting back as hard as he can, but this is a lot of Zerg. Double the army supply. Shield battery overcharge doesn't work when the shield battery's dead. He blinks on top of this.
Yeah, that's actually not a bad trade. A DT gets warped in too, even though there's an or I guess that's the original DT. But that was a bold blink by Classic, but it worked out because I guess Dark's reinforcements hadn't arrived yet. And
oh man, just picking off really low HP. Oh my gosh, another Ravager dies. Dude, that was incredible. What a hold. Protoss, man.
yeah, that was well done by Classic. I would have been scared to blink in that position, but he said, nope, I can do this. And he did a darn good job of it. Maybe it was because Dark wasn't fully committed. As you said, he had that Spire on the way, so I mean, that did take away some resources and focus from his attack.
He's going to fire up 7 mutas. There they are. Yep, 7 mutas. Firing up 8 now on the way here. Is going to be Muta Harass on these mineral lines from now until the end of time.
Yeah, we'll see if Classic just tries to weather the storm or if he's going to go for the all-in. After killing so much of the Zerg's ground supply, odds of a counterattack succeeding are pretty high, I feel. But we'll see, as Dark is now making those roaches, so he has a ground force and that air harassment.
Yeah, you know what's really bad against Mutalisks? Disruptors.
They should make Sky Disruptors.
Ha! They do have, well, Immortals that do splash damage in the campaign.
That's true.
Air.
They do. Okay, looks like there is a cannon going to help with this. Stalker is going to try and blink after these mutas. There's a recall. That could potentially shut down a few of these mutas, but not a single one dies. That just hurts as the Protoss. No cannon in the main. 3 red mutas, 2 orange, 12 dead probes. He gets 1, but that's such a bummer for
probes.
Classic.
Super bummer. What's up, Kronos in chat? How you doing? So how do you deal with mutas now? The answer is gotta be Stalkers and Archons. Those are your only answers. He's not throwing down a Stargate trying to go Phoenix or anything.
No, and I guess rightfully so, because Dark is just going back into ground. He's not building any more mutas, so Classic made the right decision there. He's gonna have to deal with the ground army that Dark has been building behind this.
Yeah, this is pretty good Blink's micro defense here. This is a good answer against mutas if you don't have anything else. And you don't do bonus versus mutas, but they're squishy enough. And yeah, I think Classic, he took some damage for sure there, but not really enough to stop him in his tracks economically. So I think Classic's in an okay position.
Yeah, army supply-wise, upgrade-wise, he's in a good spot too. The Disruptors can massacre these roaches, and as long as he can focus on this attack and isn't messed up by the mutas or anything, things are looking good for the toss.
Yeah, man, that Disruptor count is kind of scary when you're going Roach Ravager like this. Hatch goes down, Disruptor Novas go out, Zerg retreats. I mean, wow. Just zoning out that Roach Ravager Ling combo. We're now on even bases. Dark takes another base at the bottom left here. We're working on +2 attack. And Classic is working on +1 ground armor. And it finishes up. And he starts on shields.
Yeah, shields to benefit all those Archons that he's got now. And, this is just such a monster Protoss army to deal with. Dark's gonna try as he goes in. Banelings get destroyed by a massive Disruptor connection. There's another one going out, and what a slaughter here as Dark surges forward, but he is just not gonna have the juice to deal with this. A good blink forward by Classic. And Dark is all of a sudden down on supplies, scrambling to get out more units. 19 roaches are on the way, but he's gonna call it there as Classic is just unstoppable. That Disruptor hit was like, my gosh.
That is life-ending for people watching. Yeah.
We don't often take a look at these things again, but I want to see it.
The army value tab.
Okay, that was something. And that means we're going to game 5 between these two awesome players.
We are, which is only right. Only right we should get a game 5 between Dark and Classic here. A sweep by either player would have felt unsatisfying, but a game 5 is satisfying, I feel like.
I agree. And our map will be Site Delta to decide who's going to move on to the finals to face either the winner of Hero versus Cure.
Should be fantastic. Looking forward to it. Yeah, but man, rewinding and watching that hit, brutal.
Okay, the players are ready. Dark is ready. All right. Yeah, a great PVZ today between these two. Thanks for using that Matcherino coupon code, everyone. I will link that in the chat again.
Yeah, thanks everyone who's been using it. There are 50 total, but we are not really super close to hitting that. I think, yeah, 45 out of 50 remaining. So go hit that claim code button. All right, man. So on Site Delta, top left, it's going to be Dark. He's red.
The bottom right for Twisted Minds. It's classic.
Yeah, man, looking good. All right, Dark, what crazy shenanigans do you have? Are you going to play an actual macro game? Honestly, after 4 games of not really playing macro games, I think it's stupid to expect a macro game in Game 5. But who knows? Crazier things have happened. Sometimes what makes Dark crazy is that he does stuff you don't expect. And sometimes that can be playing a macro game. Oh, that probe. Did it get enough follow distance to block the attempt at getting a hatch somewhere else?
No,
Nope.
it didn't.
Thought about it, and there goes the hatch. Okay, so Dark, at the very least, is going pretty normal here. A hatch that's not in the wall of Classic, or, you know, sitting in his natural base. That's pretty normal stuff. Probe harassment, doing probe harassment things. Classic's got gas coming up. He is going to work on an expansion here. Maybe get a cyber core if he's feeling a little bit unsafe. There we go. Nah. So gate expand into cyber core, into second pylon, into second gas. It's all according to plan here from Classic. And Dark doing very normal stuff too with the gas and the pool coming in. So, okay, so we're settling in for a game that's going to be relatively normal, more normal than average in this particular game. He didn't take a gold first, probably because there are no gold bases on this map. That would explain a lot. That probe wants a drone kill, man.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that
And
drone.
that drone, oh, it's like a horror movie.
Run! Get out of here. Now there's lings on the way, and the drone is being protected, so we can go back to work. Very funny stuff. Yeah, so there's the few lings in production. Metabolic boost on the way at a normal time, which is not to be taken for granted in this series.
Yeah, we've seen everything but.
Yeah. And a Stargate opening from Classic. So he's like, I don't know, 1 with Twilight Council openings I've lost. With Twilight Council openings. I'm just trying to figure out what Dark is up to here. He throws up his third base at his natural. Gonna just call that a natural from this point on.
Yeah, Zerger pretty acclimated to dealing with this. Dark saves that drone. Beautiful timing getting that drone into a spore crawler. Adept gets pushed away, and Classic is going for a Void Ray this match. I was wondering if we'd see that. Potentially into more air play on the map Site Delta.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, also really good at just killing overlords, which is fantastic.
Okay, gonna be a Twilight Council follow-up for the Protoss. That Overlord suddenly not too pleased as it's getting shot by that Void Ray and pops.
There we go. Can't really do anything about that from a Zerg perspective. All right, handful of Lings out. Lair getting started now from Dark. Nice little adept wall off there. Void Raid be able to kill those Lings too if they try to break down the door anyway. And it is LaughNgamez again. After the Stargate. Interesting. I guess he just likes the Resonating Glaives upgrade today.
Yeah. I mean, it's a pretty good staple against a Zerg that builds a lot of Zerglings.
No, it's not a lot of Zerglings here from Dark. What is he saving up his cash for? He's droning, obviously.
Just got a lair, 2 more gases on the way. Are we going to see some mutas?
You know? Could be good. Well, it didn't really work for him in the last game. Void Ray gets another Overlord kill, basically supply blocking Dark at a time he does not want to be supply blocked. And the Void Ray gets out because their base speed is fast, even without the Flux Veins upgrade.
That was a super bold Void Ray, just flying right into the Zerg's third.
Seriously.
And as you said, that's a big supply block for Dark, building 5 Overlords at a time. He's got a Hydra Den on the way, but it's not going to be finished by the time these Adepts show up. He fires up 16 Lings, but he's only got 17. And these are Resonating Glaive Adepts Classic, going for a killer move here.
Look at him taking down Queens. Oh, that positioning on the Adepts was super good. 4 Hydras in production here. Drones have to evac. Blink on the research behind this. Ling Queen against Resonating Glaive Adept is tough. Ooh, they canceled that Shade. Stick it in the natural base where there are no drones to kill. So these hits aren't doing a lot.
But just GG.
Whoa!
Classic checkmate. It's Dark.
Wow. He had to win 2 games in a row. And I was probably not going to happen. But you know what? That's why we play the games. Incredible stuff from Classic.
Well
that was
done.
Sick. I must look at the Gilak rankings real quick. Hold on. Dark's number 7. And Classic's at 16, so Classic's playing pretty well right now. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, what an absolutely cheesy, all-any PvZ series there. Both players going for stuff to try to win this thing fast. I don't think any of the games really went beyond about, 12, 13, 14, 15 minutes.
No, they were all very quick. And but they were very exciting games, and so with that finished up, we're going to be moving into our second best of 5. It's going to be an amazing TVP between 2 very aggressive players. It's going to be Hero taking on Cure in a PVT. We'll be back in just a minute.
Don't go anywhere.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back for match number 2, which is going to be a good one. It's going to be a TVP between between Hero and Cure. We just saw Dark fall to Classic 3-2.
Yeah, what a fantastic first match that was. Holy smokes. And yeah, so 2 recent GSL winners here. Cure won his about 2 years ago. Hero won like 2 GSLs in 2022.
Yeah. Yeah, Cure I think was a runner-up for a recent one though, which is definitely significant. And he looked good doing so, I believe.
He did.
And he also just got picked up by Team Liquid. Here he is in the top left. It's the red Terran Cure.
And in the bottom right, it is Hero, winner of GSL Season 2 2022 and Season 3. Wait, no. Is it just one? Am I misreading this?
Maybe it was just one.
I thought he got 2.
Because who won? The Solar just won, then who was it? Dark or Cure? I can't recall off the top of my head.
I can't recall. Either way, yeah. So he did defeat Maru 4-1 GSL Season 2 2022. So not too bad, Hero. And he's thrown up a proxy pylon. And hiding it behind this tall grass. Is it a Pokemon? We will never know.
Let me tell you, Ash Ketchum would not stand a chance if he was walking in tall grass and found a Zealot.
No. No. 100%.
Okay, so it's a pretty classic build at this point for Protoss. The 2 gates, one of them being proxied. Namely because the Terran can take a little bit to scout this sometimes, particularly if they skip the Reaper. The timing's also very nice, and just that Terran's got to react to this fast. Cure is going for an SCV scout before his Reaper, though, so great call to open the series by him. This is going to let him see the lack of Nexus, let him keep his Reaper at home, start checking around for that proxy.
Yep. Did you change the scene?
Oh gosh, I did not. I'm the worst. I apologize, everyone. Whoops.
Am I that far behind on the VOD?
2 minutes.
Stream, I guess.
Okay, Adept coming across. Adept's really good against the early Terran game units, so this is going to force Cure to use a grenade, try and delay that. He's going to try and buy time for the bunker, and doing so, he pulls SCVs. Just got to keep 1 or 2 of these units alive to get him inside the bunker. He pulls back the injured Marine, loses 3 SCVs total.
Bunker down, nice.
That should be...
And a hard wall, because of course there's a hard wall at the top of the ramp. It's a PVT. Ooh, finishes the shade up there.
Oh, that's got to be a mistake by Hero. Or was it bait to try and get those units out of the bunker? We'll never know, but I believe he did pick off 1 of those units, maybe. However, denying just a little bit of mining time, as there's 4 SCVs off the line right now. Cyclone's on the way, though, for Cure, kind of the Terran end-all for harassment.
Yep. This Reaper micro is sick, man. You got several hits off on those Adepts without taking any damage himself. And look at these guys just having a party at the top of the ramp here.
It's so weird, but there's a Cyclone out, so one of those Adepts is going to die. Second Adept dies. 2 of them should get on out of there.
Barely. Not a lot of health, though. What's up, Nomad in chat? Glad you enjoyed the casting. Well, he couldn't see what was going on. So good casting, because he could visualize what was going on, even though he couldn't see it. That's excellent. Twilight Council. Almost done here for Hero.
Okay.
And a Widow Mine drop on the way here.
Okay, we've got these Adepts now going to shade across the map. Going to try and get up that ramp again, potentially, or just go towards the natural. He's going to shade on top of the Cyclone and try and get it. He does get it. That is a great pickoff.
with Adepts.
I
We have
didn't
seen
know that
Adepts
was
get some
doable.
serious work today. Me neither. Nice Widowmine hit.
But
Okay,
here,
but Adepts getting cleaned up. There it is. So Marines don't like fighting Adepts, but they will in dire situations, and that was one.
yeah, Hero knew the math on that, or yeah, Hero knew the math on that one, saying I got 6 Adepts, I can 2-shot a Cyclone just about.
Yeah. That was awesome. Widowmine drop moving across the map here. Blinks coming on in a robotics facility on the way too, which means detection is capable fairly soon. A Liberator in production from Cure as well. Might actually be used for defensive purposes. Defender mode may actually live up to its name for once in a long time.
Okay, Hero got to deal with these Widow Mines. He's got a few Stalkers, but gonna lose 1 probe and a second one. However, dealt with that pretty much textbook-like.
Yeah, sure did. The SimCity working against Hero here a little bit. That was annoying, but not enough that he gets dropped again. He is making an observer, obviously. Blink really helps with this kind of stuff too, and I think we've kind of calmed down a little bit here. 2 bases for each player. Ooh, robotic support bay coming in from Hero. Whether that's going to be Colossus or Disruptor, we'll have to wait and see on that. And who's going to be brave enough to take a 3rd base in such an aggressive PvT is going to be the question.
I mean, that's a tough one. Who will expand first?
Yeah. Because, I mean, Hero kind of has to keep up with Mules.
Yeah, it's true, but at the same time, taking a 3rd at this point would almost be like signing his own death warrant, it would seem.
He's not doing it, so I think he probably agrees with you on that.
I think... Oh, there's Hero starting the 3rd, okay.
Alright.
Maybe just take it, cut probes, so then, oh, Liberator harassment.
Ooh, 5 probe kills and stopping all of the mining at the main. This sucks. This is so bad.
Yeah, this kind of means that Hero can't cut probes. He's going to need to replace at least a few of those. And then I think pretty much just make units, because Kira's powering up big time.
Yeah, Widowmines, Medivacs, Marines, Marauders, Stim finishing up. Combat Shield on the way. +1 infantry attack on the way here too. 1 Colossus not really going to be enough. Yeah, this is going to be a tough hold. Way to find a Cyclone, though.
Yeah, that's
Blink
not so bad.
Assassinating that thing. Extended Thermal Lance on the way here, too. Is that going to be part of the upcoming attack? That is a larger question.
Yeah, Extended Thermal Lance in charge. Hero really is just keeping his probe count down, which I think he's 100% correct to do so. He's been looking to poke with the Stalkers, was maybe hoping to get a blink into the main base utilizing Adept Shades, but that didn't happen. Now he's just going to be on the defensive. He's got to hope he's got enough stuff. All the while, though, Kira is going for a drop into the main base. Going to unload his Marines with Stim outside of vision. So these guys can just run into that main mineral line and potentially kill all the probes.
Yep, engagement on the left side of the map here, but oh my gosh, forcing a recall. 4, 5, 6 probes go down. These Marines know they're probably dead, but there's no way they can take down this Colossus. They can't, but they do injure it pretty effectively. That is a wounded Colossus for sure, and then just marching on into the 3rd base. Can't recall again, but cliff walking is on the menu. Shield battery overcharge is up. It gets sniped, obviously, by the Marines and the Marauders. Colossus, extended thermal lance. Not quite done yet. Still getting some work done.
It did do some good tanking, that battery overcharge, preventing those Stalkers from melting. Guardian Shield gets popped now. I think Hero needs to start another battery up at this base as soon as possible.
Yeah, Vikings in production back home from Cure as well. He is not getting a 3rd base, man. He is firing up all of his anti-Protoss units here. Extended Thermal Lance completed, charge completed. 2 really important tools here for Hero if he's going to try to stay alive against this. Cure, actually, you know what? He's pulling back, and is he maybe thinking about going for a 3rd here? Yep, there we go. He's going to lift up that orbital, land it down, and just maybe try to play some catch-up here. Try to get that Viking count high enough to deal with those Colossus, and then maybe try to poke in again.
Yeah, I think that that's probably the right thing to do. Hero was pretty locked down defending his 3 bases. He's still only on 48 workers. He's been making like nothing but units.
All right, just double pumping Vikings non-stop here. He wants enough Vikings to destroy every Colossus in the world right now. There are 3 Colossus. We've talked about it a lot. Seems to be the magic number for Protoss here. That is a Marauder-heavy comp, man. That Viking count is 4 with 2 more popping now.
Yeah, Hero's moving out. He's looking to go for an attack. He's got a Warp Prism, and he does kind of catch Cure out of position. He can potentially move into his natural, but I guess he doesn't know the army's at that 3rd base. He sees it coming back now. He can drop Force Fields if he wants on that ramp, or he's just going to actually try and crack that base. Is there Force Fields? There they are. Going to really pull back that Terran army, and Kier realizes how dire this is, pulling his SCVs, knowing he just needs to hold this attack most likely, and he does, as the Vikings destroy those Colossus. GG.
Huh. Yeah, I'm always a little bit confused when somebody quits after a failed attack on the other end of the map. He was I guess he was behind on economy, but he did kill 12 SCVs in that attack.
Yeah, I think Kier still had about as many workers as Hero did, despite losing those 12 SCVs.
Yeah, actually, looking at here, it's about 63 to like 48. So that is actually worse than I thought it was. Fair enough, man. Economically too far behind. That was an economic GG for sure. So game 1 does go to Cure. Nice job getting those Vikings. Getting rid of those Colossus was hugely important. Once those were gone, there really just wasn't anything to deal with the Marines and Marauders. I mean, that is tale as old as time, man. Dealing with Colossus as Terran dates back to the Wings of Liberty beta days. So, yeah, they do their job. A lot of Marauders in there, too, to help with those Stalkers. And without any splash damage and with an economic disadvantage, there just was not a path forward. So we move into game number 2. Back on
Alcyone?
Alcyone.
Alcyone. Okay. All right. In the bottom left, representing Liquid and representing them well, it's Cure.
And in the top right, it's our guy. It's Hero with a little default SCV spinning portrait next to his Nexus. That's awesome. Very fun.
One of the very cool features they added in Starcraft 2.
Yeah, spinning portrait. And the ability to make your own portraits too. So cool.
Yeah, that's the big one, I think.
Proxy coming up. Although, man, did you see somebody, I think Tasteless made a video about like an ex-Blizzard employee who claims that one $10 mount in World of Warcraft made more revenue than all of the Wings of Liberty sales.
Was it all of the Wings of Liberty sales? Oh my gosh.
Yes, every copy of Wings of Liberty that was sold, the amount of money they got from that. Oh, Hero. Good man. Got outstripped.
Kier, he drops the depot so he can try and finish this. Now spamming T or whatever his cancel button is, trying to get that SCV into a safe spot, and he does.
He's
Starcraft mechanics.
Yeah, fancy stuff here from Cure. Very cool. And finishes it, and the SCV gets out of there. That's all I needed to do by there's a Reaper on the way.
Yeah, I definitely did see what you were talking about, though. Like, that's definitely a big proof of how big microtransactions are. But then again, that was like peak World of Warcraft, right? Around 2010 or something, wasn't it?
Yeah. No, yes. Everybody was so excited for StarCraft 2. Man. But yeah, $10 in-game mount for World of Warcraft. Outsold every single one of the Wings of Liberty box, and that just makes me sad.
Is this bunker gonna finish?
I don't know. Zealot's gonna make sure it doesn't. There
That's
we
a
go.
resounding no.
Yeah. So, I don't know. It's cute from Cure. I mean, got a probe kill, but didn't get a lot done, I would say.
Yeah. Not too much done. 2 Reapers out now. They can potentially micro the Zealot to death. The Stalker's going to have to back his friend up.
Starport, Widow Mine. Really don't need any kind of an advanced degree to tell you what that's all about from Cure back home. But I don't know. I mean, Protoss have gotten pretty good at dealing with Widow Mine drops. They're just so old hat by now. Oh, lost a Reaper there a little bit sloppily there.
Okay, Falcon. You go on Reddit and tell Protoss they've got used to dealing with Widow Mine drops.
Yeah, at this level, yeah.
Yeah,
not
that's true.
People on Reddit, heavens no. It's like telling people on Reddit that Skytoss isn't a big problem. Like, pfft.
Oh yeah, well that's
it is for everyone there.
Reddit is pretty bad about Widow Mines. Like, creator lost like 8 probes to a drop, and someone posted it on Reddit.
It's like, look, even the top pros.
He's played
so overpowered.
He's played 30,000 games this year, and it happened once.
Yeah. Like, nerf Widow Mine.
Which, I mean, design-wise, they aren't perfect, just because they're incredibly punishing to new players. But
yeah, and incredibly punishing to like a single mistake. That's the
true.
thing. Which is not really in the spirit of StarCraft all that much.
No, but I mean, it kind of is, because like we've got like High Storm, Disruptors.
Yeah,
Fungals.
I mean, disruptors are in the same box for sure. I don't know about Storm. I guess so. Instant cast, good AoE damage. Push in too far, eat a whole storm, everything dies. Yeah, alright. Raven on the way from Cure. Those were nerfed in the recent patch, so they can't do 2 interference matrices right off the bat. Well, early enough anyway that they're good for pushes like this.
Yeah, and they actually got a research interference matrix at a tech lab.
Yeah, so that really extra slows them down. And there's not a tech lab, intriguingly enough. Hallucinated Phoenix getting a nice scout off, seeing what's going on here in Cureville. And really nothing surprising, but you know, sometimes getting a confirmation there's nothing surprising happening is good.
Hero's spotter probe takes 1 for the team. Kier not finding any damage really with this drop. In comes the Raven towards the natural base. Auto turret gunning down some of those probes. Gonna get 1, just 2.
Alright, man. We are just getting all of the tools here. Stim, Combat Shield, +1. It sounds like I'm talking about the last game, but that's just because Kira's kind of using the same game plan here.
Yeah. Hero's got a much quicker third this game, though, so things look way better for him.
Absolutely. He's got to be feeling much more comfortable in this game than in Game 1, which is good, because going down 2-0 is not something you want to do. He's not going to wait for Charge to do this? Maybe he's going to wait for Charge to do this. Yeah, he's going to wait for Charge to do this. It is almost done.
Oh, 9 probes died. Oh gosh, a Widowmine must have made it in.
No.
Or was it the Raven or something? The Raven's got 4 kills, so it got a few.
And then what got the rest?
Anyway, Hero's going to try and return the favor. He's still at a healthy probe count of 56. In comes some Marauders and Marines. Going to push that Prism away. Charge just finishes up. Hero does an expert bait on that Widowmine shot. He's now going to warp in more Zealots, just try and try and take over the main base of Kier. And Kier, who is looking to do a little bit of a poke, is all of a sudden just all on the defense.
Yeah, it definitely slows down any plan for an attack that he had, which is not good for Cure and Terran fans in general. Concussive Shells finishes, +1 attack finishes. He wanted that to finish as he was showing up at the Protoss base, but now it's, you know, Not really a timing attack anymore. And yeah, Phoenix, you were just scouting the Terran base. Got a really good scout off. Nice job, buddy. Yeah, Vikings, I mean, working on infantry armor. This is Cure using the same playbook, but this time Hero's got a 4th base coming up.
Raven goes back into the natural base, the most effective harassment Cure's had this game. Forcing probe pulls, getting a couple kills. But yeah, he's in a tough spot as the Terran. He needs damage. Okay, in comes Cure. There is not any Colossus. There is not any Disruptors. No AoE to speak of for the Protoss, so it's going to be a tough hold. He's going to buy time with his sentries. There is a tank for the Terran. Cure's been powering mainly off of 2 bases with a very late 3rd behind this. And now's his time to try and get some damage done.
Yeah, I don't know, though. It's not looking good. Vikings going to try to join the party here, but... Although, you know, lack of splash damage... Anti-armor missile would be sick right here. That is a nice clump. Or we could just fly the Raven and have it die.
Oh, there it is. But a blink, I mean, it saves the one stalker, but it doesn't drag the shot with it. Zealots come from the rear, but they're disjointed with the main attack. Those Immortals are covered in Shido dust. The stalkers blink in front to try and buffer for them, and they do a good job preventing those Immortals being target fired. Widowmines go off, dealing some friendly fire. It's still going to be a close fight, however. 1 Immortal's popped, the 2nd's popped. The 3rd is now being worked on. Hero needs to warp in more units.
60 to 30 army supply. Every Immortal just died. No splash damage. And I really don't see a path forward here for Hero. I mean, he's kind of chasing this away, but reinforcements keep showing up all the time. You're going to fight against Marina Marauder with Stalkers and Immortals? Not really. By Immortals, I mean un-immortal, which is not great.
Yeah, the target fire on the Marauders not quite there from the Immortals, but Hero is kind of cleaning this up now as he warps in more Zealots, dealing with the Widow Mines, only allowing them to fire once at least.
Yes, that's excellent. He needs to do that.
Notably, there's no battery at the 3rd base for the Protoss. Hero's got a 4th base up, however, so if he can hold on, he'll be in a decent spot. Uses an Observer to clean up another Widow Mine. He's now pushing the Terran back, takes that Xel'Naga, buying himself time. He needs to just be making more units.
Yeah, I mean, we just need to be powering our way through here, making as much stuff as possible. Yeah, that army difference, 60 to 45. Oh, there we go. He just warped in a bunch of Zealots, and now... Wow. Hero. He's sending those Zealots into the natural base of Cure, too. Back home, or maybe gonna... Yeah, going right into this natural base, charging in, picking off reinforcements. Hero took a really tough position and is now 100% taking the lead here. Look at this.
Yeah, weathering the
mules. Full evac here. Cure says it's time to go, but there's like 12 Zealots here that force him back. Widowmines get some nice connections. Zealots die, but... Oh, man. This is 17 SCVs down. Worker count from Cure is kind of garbo, and I think Hero may have tied this up. I don't want to caster curse this thing, but army value not looking nearly as healthy for the Terran as it was.
Yeah, Hero's got to be careful not to majorly overextend, but he's fine just sitting back. He's got a 5th base, taking that gold on the way. His upgrades are ahead of the Terrans. Robo and another Robo facility are on the way. Cure's really got to hope for a big overextension by Hero.
Yeah, I mean, Hero just kind of walking into this would be... That would count.
Yeah, and I mean, Cure is up on army supply again. The upgrades aren't out for Hero just yet. He can kite out on the map right now, pop off those Zealots. Widowmine is going to hit some of the Stalkers and soften them up. Like, Cure wants to fight right now.
He does. He's got a nice 20 army supply advantage here and an upgrade advantage. As you said, the 1-1's not quite done for the Protoss. Making these Zealots as maybe as squishy as they're going to be for the rest of the game.
He tags one of the Immortals. This is forcing Hero to turn and fight or surrender them, and Hero's bleeding off a lot of units as this happens. Those Immortals will not get away. Stalkers and Zealots are turning to fight this, but Hero all of a sudden is really bleeding out a lot of units. Cure's got Medivacs to heal up this bio. 2-2 is now done for the Protoss, so any units he warps in is gonna be good for him. He's also got 2 Colossus about to finish up. That will be a game changer.
Absolutely. He's had no splash damage to this point in this game. Getting a Nexus is huge for Cure. Still a 4-basing hero, though. Stalker is trying to pick off some reinforcements, and they fairly well do. Man, this game, this is a lot tighter. I thought it was over a couple times here, but both players are showing extreme amounts of resilience. Gotta appreciate it. Nice blink, keeping those 2 Stalkers alive. Every unit matters now. 93 to 59 army supply in favor of Cure. But Colossus are nice force multipliers. They don't have extended thermal lance, but we saw them get some work done in the last game anyway. Even without that extended thermal lance upgrade. So we are dancing, but Hero's like, I'm on 4 bases. I've got 78 probes to your 50 SCVs, sir. Cure is moving into Ghosts now. Widow Mines drop in. That's at least 2 kills there. Just last second recognition by Hero. Widow Mines wiping out a Zealot, but also a Marauder. And Medevac gets picked off as it tries to retreat from a Widow Mine dropping mission. So this is bad. Army value is about the same right now. Vikings wiping out a Zealot. Not expected to see that today. But yeah, army value is about the same. But man, Hero is at 74 workers, and it's still 50 from Cure. He's finally starting to fire up some more SCVs and land a 4th base and work on his 3-3, adding some Ghosts in for EMP. So this is kind of unexpectedly turned into a late game PvT here with EMPs. Going to see some feedbacks maybe. Colossus, obviously the play for now from Hero, but could see some disruptors being added in here too later.
Yeah, Hero, he's now starting to push the Terran a little bit. Cure's been trying to make Vikings, but he's only up to 4 against 4 Colossus. He's got his 3-3 on the way. The Protoss does not, but looks like Hero's going for blood before Cure gets a chance to really get into the late game.
Yeah, man. I mean, Hero's maxed out. He's feeling fine. He's replaced his Immortals. He's got 4 Colossus out now.
Oh, the Widow Mines are still getting really good connections.
Nice blink dodge. And nice pickoff on that one.
Ghost moves forward, gets an EMP on a lot of the sentries. That's a big deal. The Viking count is up to 6. They could potentially target down some of these Colossus. In come the SCVs. It's all or nothing here for Cure on the defense. Colossus getting saved by Hero's awesome Warp Prism Micro, allowing them to get a few extra shots off before perishing. Bio on the right side is still holding strong. All the Colossus are going to go down. The Prism goes down too. Now it's Bio against Stalkers. But 34 SCVs died in this attack, and Cure is down so much supply.
Yeah, he is down army supply. He's down huge worker count. I don't think he's got it. And the 3-3 is finishing up. It's going to help, but I don't think it's going to help enough.
Yeah, he's got 3-3 in a dream. He's even on army supply with the Protoss. That Widow Mine doesn't get a shot off, unfortunately. Ghosts don't quite have the energy for EMP, I suppose. And yeah, as long as Hero trades out okay here, he'll be fine.
Yeah, and that's it. Cure taps out. He knew where he was in that game. He was not lost. He had Google Maps open. Woof.
What a great match between those two.
Yeah, honestly, Hero took a while for him to get splash damage out. I was worried about it, but able to get enough done with Stalker, especially charge lots. They were really important there. And some Immortals, little shield battery overcharge help there, and he defends it. And ends up able to get way ahead in economy. And, you know, if you're ahead in economy long enough, you're probably going to win the game of Starcraft you're playing.
Yeah, just his defense in the early game was incredible. Like, that Medivac with the Widow Mines in it was just sitting outside of his base. Like, I can't go in for the longest time. And that Proxy Rex defense at the very start was pretty solid too, so. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, we're going to be on Oceanborn for our next map here. Should be excellent. We are tied up 1-1. We'll see if Hero can do as well with the economy in Game 3 as he did in Game 2.
Yeah, we'll see. In the bottom right-hand side of the map for DKZ, it's Hero.
And in the top left, it is Cure.
Liquid Cure, the Liquid Cure.
That's his guy. I like on maps when it shows the Vespene geysers kind of like erupting from the ground. Like it shows the displaced earth and rocks around them. Like they erupted like a volcano and now they're here. Kind of neat. I think, yeah, those rocks have to be placed there manually by the map maker, right?
Like these ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, 100%, I think.
Yeah, yeah. It's not a natural part of the Vespene geyser doodad. It's not even a doodad. What do you call like an inherently important part of the map? Like minerals and Vespene geysers.
I just guess the resources.
Yeah, that's probably that.
But it kind of is a doodad. I mean, you're right. It's not really the critical part, what the geyser looks like, as long as it's there.
Yeah. What's up, Nompensfi? That is a tough name to say, sir. No, we just did our first best of 5. Classic defeated Dark. And we are in the middle of Cure versus Hero.
Yeah, there was a bit of confusion in regards to the Team Liquid post.
Right.
But we got that cleared up.
Yeah, sorry about that. But yeah, we did Dark versus Classic first, which was awesome. And now Cure versus Hero, which has proved to be equally as awesome. At least it's not going to be a sweep either way, which is always nice.
Okay, reactor on the way.
Yep, second gas tossing up here too from Cure. All is well here. No proxy shenanigans. Hero feels good about that too, throwing up a Stargate on the open.
Oh, nice.
Which is a little bit interesting. Just because Widow Mines and Cyclones are so good at rebuffing whatever the heck you're going to make in that Stargate.
That is very true.
That said, Hero's going to try to make something work.
Okay, Medivac on the way for the Terran player, so gonna load something in it, whether it be his Marines or his Cyclone. Maybe one Cyclone for Marines, who knows?
Yeah. Really? Only Cure knows.
Could be one Cyclone, 4 SCVs.
Ooh. Could this be another Phoenix Adept play?
I'd love to see it.
Did we cast a game like that, or did I cast it on my own? I can't remember. But either way,
I don't think we did. Not today.
it can definitely work. Or not today. It was months ago, I think, last time I saw it, but it worked. Although Cure says, future plans, eh? Put those on hold, because here comes a Cyclone and a bunch of Marines and a Hellion.
Yeah, it's all gonna depend on the micro between these two players. Looks like that pylon on the high ground is a very juicy target, shutting down that Stargate and Gateway production for the Protoss. Really going to hurt. Cyclone gets shut down, however, and the Marines are just going to unload in the main base, forcing a recall out of the Protoss to deal with this.
Yeah, they do get into the main base that way. They will be able to clean up these Marines. Phoenix alone not happy about that, but with a little bit of support, they're able to clean it up. That was pretty clean by Hero. Losing that pylon sucked, but the rest of it, not too bad.
Pretty
Robo
clean.
Bay getting fired up too.
I agree. Oh,
yeah,
look at
Robo
that.
Bay on the way.
Cure actually going for the Interference Matrix upgrade.
Oh, all right. He's like, man, I need that. It takes too long to kill stuff.
Just put it on timeout.
Hellion wants a scout, gets lifted and executed. Sorry, man. Not happening. You get to see the robo working, but that's not really information that you need. Third base on the way from Hero. We caught an eye on that. And no, it's not going to be Phoenix Adept. It's going to be Phoenix Immortal Stalker. And then Colossus Disruptor. Robo Bay finishes up. And the production tab remains empty for Robo units. So I don't know what Hero... There we go. Colossus getting fired up.
Yeah, Hero gonna do that steady build-up. A very strong defensive composition, Phoenix Colossus. Fleet Beacon on the way now for the Protoss. Fleet Beacon and a second Stargate, actually, which is bananas. Is this going to be for Mass Phoenix, or is he going to make some other air units? I really have no idea.
Yeah, this is a really, really interesting play here from Hero. I vote Tempest. Let's see some Tempests. Tempests are fun. Colossus wiggling its nose at us. Wiggle, wiggle. And its ears. Just showing off. Alright, Fleet Beacon done. Nothing being used with it so far. Just adding on more and more Phoenix.
Yeah, Hero likes this Phoenix Colossus play, I guess. And if it's done right by the Protoss, it looks so darn good. And then there's other times it just looks horribly bad. So we'll see if he's able to get some pickoffs, like get some medivacs dealing with those Ravens before they fire their interference matrix would be huge. Because if he can't deal with them, the bio can just stim forward, and there will be no damage for the Protoss.
Yeah. Oh, he's making a carrier. All right. Fair enough, I guess. All right, Raven gonna dive on in here. Interference matrix on one Colossus. Gets the second one. Force fields keeping the Terran at bay for now. Shield battery overcharge is coming up here too. Cyclone's getting particular shots off. Stalker being kept alive though by the shield battery overcharge. And Cure got to retreat back down the ramp.
Yeah, those force fields were so huge because those interference matrix, they got off, and as a result, Hero was really lacking any damage, but the force fields bought him the time. Now he's got those carriers on the way, as you said, a third Stargate on the way as well, so he wants to go fully into the air fleet.
Man. Yeah, man. Working on air weapons, level 1. Anion pulse crystals coming in here, too, for the Phoenix that he's got. Disruptors being added into the mix. It's just a nice little hodgepodge of all these different little Protoss pieces. Ooh. Lost a Phoenix there, though. Gotta be careful with that. Lose too many of them, and then suddenly your Phoenix are incredibly ineffective.
Oh, I love this. Adding in the disruptors on top of the carriers.
Yep.
Such a great decision by the Protoss. It makes the army so difficult to deal with because you got to worry about splitting your bio against the disruptors, but then controlling your air units that you've committed so much to counter the carriers. And the economy of Hero is just incredible compared to that of Curie's on 4 bases. Pretty, or just getting up now. But he's still got a good army, static defense up at all of his key defensive points. And as long as Hero doesn't get ahead of himself, he should be able to build up to a strong army. And then, not sure how Cure will be able to kill it.
Yeah, this is looking really dicey all of a sudden for Cure. I mean, Vikings are obviously the answer to both the Colossus and the carriers. and do okay against disruptors as well. EMPs are going to have to be a big play here. This is going to be fun. Looks like Cure did split his army up, one south, one north. Trying to sneak on in, hit 2 places at once, which is always the sign of a great player, which again, turns out GSL champions are pretty good at Starcraft. So the Phoenix catch wind of this group to the south. Let's see if Hero's going to catch wind of the group to the north, though. There is a probe up here. Probe sacrifices its life to give this really important information to Hero. And man, 3 carriers at a time in production. Not too bad.
Yeah, the thing is, though, as long as Protoss stays on their static defense, it's really difficult for the Terran to engage this. So, Cure, not able to find any angle of attack, even just to harass. He may have to wait till Hero takes more bases, till the Protoss moves out with an attack.
Nice EMP on those Zealots. They do take down 2 of the landed Vikings before they can get cleaned up, though. They're in the mineral line going after SCVs. 5 SCVs go down before they get obliterated, and Hero says, let's go. Gonna hallucinate a Phoenix to trigger a Widow Mine, according to the sound that I just heard there. Storm finishing up from Hero as well, and +1 air weapons is done. Level 2 starting up. Nice. Oh, the Raven dies, but the anti-armor missile completes the hit. And Hero going for it, man. Anti-armor missile catches every one of these Protoss units. They are all Cheeto dusted. Cure heading south with a large portion of his army. Does he feel like he can hold with what he's got, or is he going to try to...
I don't know what his plan is, but I don't think he can hold. He's trying to build turrets frantically, but Hero's not giving him the time of day. The Terran's now hitting the Protoss' third. It takes him a while to get through all that static defense, however, buying the Protoss a lot of time. Cure's stimmed his bio. He's got 18 Marauders on the map against a Protoss with 8 carriers, so that's not ideal. He's gonna get the third base, but I mean, Hero has got so much more real estate to lose. There's High Templar, but they were EMP'd. But there's just not enough anti-air here for the Terran. He's supply blocked. He can't make anything else. He's got 3 Vikings against the 8 carriers. A Disruptor and Sidestorm annihilates a chunk of the bio. Cure is done. There's just no way. Hero, I mean, he can clean out the Terran's main, then recall to one of his bases, and there will be literally nothing left for the Terran.
Yeah, Cure trying to make a stand in this back corner here. Getting in, and Marauders getting some hits off. Marines trying to kill what they can, but they're kind of stuck. Colossus burning them alive with pure Protoss Flame. And that's a GG. We are done. Cure, I know he's having a fun time on the other side of the map, wiping out a base, but that's GG. Hero takes the 2-1 lead and is 1 game away from our best of 7 final. Woo!
GG, well done by Hero.
Yeah, man, adding those carriers, not something you see every day in a PvT. A lot of fun. Gotta appreciate that. And yeah, just not enough anti-air response, as you said, from Cure in that match. And I mean, that basic StarCraft math is if you don't have enough anti-air to deal with your enemy's flying stuff, you just die, no matter what the flying stuff is.
Yeah, and we saw Cure going for a bunch of turrets there. That's kind of something you need as Terran, but they weren't done by the time Hero attacked on in. If they were done a little bit earlier, Hero might have paused a bit, allowed Cure to get up some more production and potentially take on that Toss army, but just great killer's instinct by Hero, as always.
Yeah. And this is a man that 4-1'd Maru, so we gotta take him seriously. And he looked like it there, for sure. So Golden Aura for game number 3.
I still remember the first time I watched one of Hero's games. It was BlizzCon, I think, 2014. I knew nothing about StarCraft at the time, but I tuned in. I'm like, who's this smiling Protoss guy, and why is everyone saying he's so good? And here he is, like 10 years later, still just destroying nerds. And he's in the bottom right.
lose your camera? I sure did. There you are. And in the top left. Cure.
I'm gonna look into a better fix for that before.
For following the camera?
Yeah, for the following event. Okay. Normal builds from these two so far. No double gas from either of them yet.
Looks like one of my subs is looking at the Tomb Liquid page and maybe going to try to edit it for us. I don't know what's going on there. Anyway, Starcraft is happening. Cybernetics Core on the way. Reaper coming in too.
Yeah, Cybercore before the Nexus for Hero. He wants to have that Stalker or Adept out. Nicely timed for when that Reaper arrives. Kira goes for his SCV prior to the Reaper as well. Just wants to make sure there is no big cheese coming his way.
Yeah, and I mean, I can tell you, there's nothing more frustrating to me in a 3v3 that I'm playing than one of my Protoss allies being unprepared when a Reaper shows up.
Oh gosh.
Really makes me mad. It's like, help! And I'm like, do you want me to help you with my slow lings or my slow queen? You can choose.
Yeah, he's like, I'm sorry, I'm trying to get up a fleet beacon so I can make mass carriers. Come on, defend me for 20 minutes.
I don't have time to make a single adept or stalker. I have plans.
Oh man, Starcraft 3v3s and stuff are so fun. It's been too long since I played any.
Yeah, it's a ton of fun. It can be frustrating, but definitely entertaining.
Oh, good jukes on the Reaper. Gets one probe, but does get surrounded and killed.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, denied a lot of mining, though, by pulling those all off the mineral line.
Definitely. And in a game like this, that can make a big difference for sure. Twilight Council coming up. Far back end of the main base here.
Ooh. Now that that Reaper dies, Hero can have all the secrets. Okay, another gateway now on the way for Hero. Getting up some production, Blink on the way, so potentially a 2-gate expand, could be up to 4, or whatever Protoss is feeling.
Alright, man. Cure, what are your plans, sir? They involve medevacs, which is not strange at all. Was it Cure who just kept doing that 3 racks opening in a TVP in Afreeca a couple of years ago?
I'd say it was most likely Kier.
Yeah, I'm wondering where that is. That just kind of like lost all of its power in the current patch. I'm shocked he hasn't really tried to pull it out here at least once.
Well, I mean, the 3 racks build is still a thing, it's just not as direct. Like, they always make some sort of harassment before now these days.
Yeah.
And this time it's 3 Hellions trying to get into the main base, but they will get on out of there.
Yeah, and that was Hero being ultimately ready for that, like as ready as you can be.
Yeah,
or Templar.
Hero is playing so respectful to Kier. I love it. He's already got a Templar Archives on the way, which is ridiculously fast. Before his 3rd base, he's just playing Kier like you should play Kier. Play defensive, really defensive, let Kier go for whatever shenanigans he wants, and eventually the Protoss late game or mid game will win out against just a Terran who's building bio and whatnot.
Yep. I mean, that's what Terran's gonna do, so good call.
Okay, the drop still hanging out there. Hero, of course, knows it's there, though.
And immediate storm. I mean, he went Twilight Council, Templar Archives, storm pretty fast here. That is, I mean, 5 minutes getting storm started is pretty nuts. I like it.
Yeah, that's the fastest storm I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
But it's because Hero knows the timings of Kier. He's like, oh, you're going 3 racks. You're going to move across the map with your bio pretty soon.
Yeah, I mean, Kier's not really mixing up the recipe here. Concussive Shells, Widow Mine, upgrades for infantry, not really relying on Liberators all that much, which we do sometimes see in PBT, where we just see, you know, 5 or 6 or 7 Liberators show up as part of a battle, and then the Protoss has to decide if they want to engage with that. And I remember that really being a big complaint by Protoss, that engaging into Liberators defending a Terran army was like impossible. But then, from near as I could tell, Protoss players just kind of had to just brave it, just get in there, accept the hits, and everything would work out more often than not. Is that a Widow Mine drop at the
Must have
third?
been.
Yeah, 4 probes, fairly well mitigated.
But yeah, like, this is how good Hero's defense is and how much he's focusing on it. Those 3 Hellions from the early game are still hanging out in their medivac.
Yeah.
They're getting car sick at this point. One needs to use the bathroom. He's like, pull over, please. Now, Kier is kind of counteracting this by going for faster ghosts of his own to try and deal with the late game that Hero's heading towards. Another Widow Mine drop being attempted. Feedback goes down on the medivac. Another Widow Mine burrows. Hero has a bit of a late reaction, loses 3 probes.
Yeah, it can't be perfect all the time.
No. Okay, there's double Colossus on the way now.
I don't know. Part of me kind of wants to see Kier try to mix this up a little bit. He's down 2-1. He's pretty much done the same thing every game. He's got a recipe that he's following, and it's good. It's a strong recipe, but if Hero knows what it is, that's kind of it's a disadvantage to you, sir.
Yeah, I think Kier's kind of setting Hero up for a mistake this game. Like, he's getting a lot better counters than he had in the previous match. He's building a lot more Vikings early on, as he is starting to produce those. He's got a good ghost count, so I don't think he should necessarily attack into Hero, but if he can bait him out, then I think he could definitely take a good engagement.
All right, well, setting up. Observer goes in observation mode right on top of the army, which is hilarious. I like that. And Fleet Beacon getting fired up again. Hero's like, that really worked well for me last game. And Hero doesn't seem to be changing up his recipe at all. Feedback Storm and gets out of there.
Triple feedback and Psystorm landing on that Bio Army. Those Medivacs have got their work cut out for them.
And not a single High Templar even takes a hit there. That's brilliant.
Two is quicker for the Protoss. Hero is rock solid.
Yeah, air weapons coming in. This is going to be more carrier stuff. And I'm looking for Cure's production tab to give us any indication. He sees this. He's preparing for it in some way. The Vikings, sure. Vikings are an answer here, but the Vikings are not in any number to where they can deal with a carrier fleet. And this time it's actually Tempest and a mothership.
Wow.
Okay, let's mix it up.
I dig it.
Absolutely. Vikings still good against Tempest and motherships. But,
Double scan goes down.
Hey, what's up, Mitsuo? He wants nukes. I don't know. This game goes long enough. We might get there. Fusion core on the way. It'd be pretty dumb to make battle cruisers at this point. So probably just for advanced ballistics for Liberators. Although he is getting air weapons. As Cure casually wrecks through an attempt at a 5th base for Hero.
Yeah, that's a nice shutdown. Protoss has limited options as far as taking bases on this map goes. Like, the bottom left is really far away.
Yep.
Cure's on 4 bases. He's taken his own 5th, so he's actually doing really well on the economic front. Getting up another starport. 3-3's on the way. Like, Cure has a lot more of a chance in this game than he did the last one because he's been building his own strong late game army. He's still got to be incredibly careful against what Hero has, but like, he's got a decent Viking count. He's getting ship weapons. Hero's lacking a lot of ground army because of how many Tempest he's made.
That's true. 3 Colossus, though. Here comes Cure marching in.
Gosh.
Tempest. Trying to snipe off these Vikings from distance. Mothership activates the cloaking field, which is not permanent anymore. It needs to be activated as an actual spell here. And Cure completely backing off. He does not like this situation at all.
He went in so far and then retreated, but he didn't even get the Nexus, which is unfortunate. I feel he probably could have.
Nice time warp getting tossed down. Got to retreat out of that one too. Vikings getting picked apart.
And then, okay, that was
Medevac gets picked off there too. Army value is about even. Work count looking good from Hero, but again, mules are a thing. Sensor tower gets sniped. Cure trying to get into late game Terran with all of these extra orbitals, but Hero's messing with all of that. Nice storm.
EMPs do hit some of the Protoss ground army. Cure's setting up a surround, but he needs to be sending those other units to the bottom so he can get this from the backside. He's doing it now. Taking his time, though. SCVs are going to be pulled to repair the command centers. He's fighting, but part of his army is really late engaging this. Ghosts and Marines are dealing with the Tempest in the skies on the back, but I feel like he could have joined that up a little bit better as he's trying to engage this now, but he's already bled off all his units on the left side. That's going to be GG. Hero is going to take the 3-1.
And he will go to our best of 7 finals to face off against Classic in a PvP finals best of 7. Wow, that last fight was pretty close, but Hero came out on top.
Yeah, that's going to be a great one, a crazy PvP. Hero and Classic know each other very well at this point. I think it's safe to say being the top 2 Protoss in Korea for a long time. So that'll be an absolute banger.
Long history between these players for sure.
Yeah, now we'll take a minute of a break, get some water, stretch our legs a little bit, and then come back for what's going to be an epic best of 7. Probably a bit of a cheesy one too, if I had to guess. We'll be back in a minute.
I want a cannon rush so bad.
Oh, I hope so. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and if you hear that ticking down, that means we are heading into the best of 7. Really, it's just to find out who's the best of these two, but it's going to be a wacky, it's going to be just a good time, a PvP between the two best Protoss in Korea, I think it's safe to say.
Yeah, definitely fantastic. All right. Here we are on Site Delta. And in the top left, it's Hero.
And in the bottom right, it's Twisted's Classic.
Hey, what's up, Farmer Red? Any way you could update or edit Liquipedia so I don't need to spend 10 minutes to find the stream? Is there something wrong?
We're on the side of TL.net. So if you visit there.
Yeah, what did... Yeah, Afreeca. There's a link to... Yeah, pulls it right up. Yeah, so TL.net on the right side. That's your best bet, Farmer Red.
But you found it now anyway.
Yeah, I mean, you made it here eventually. That's true.
Okay, probes moving across the map. These two doing the exact same thing. It's like
Hey.
Hero's going for a gateway expand classic. Also going for a gateway expand. Since when did PvP become gateway expands?
Yeah, what the heck? You're supposed to go Gateway Cybercore or else you
Okay,
die.
there
it is. So massive advantage for Classic here, going Gateway Cybercore in the face of a Gateway Expand from Hero. That's how this works.
No, I guess they both went gateway cybercore. That's my mistake.
Oh, look at that.
It looked like they were gonna go gateway expand.
Based on the Gateway placement, yeah. Weirdos. What are you guys doing? PvP has been solved. It's been the same opening for so many years now.
Both players having to go for that early zealot to deal with the pylon block, just even though you know your opponent's gonna cancel the pylon, and you're just like,
Ooh, Stargate on the open here from Classic, though. I like it.
Run, probe, run.
Dead probe. Zap. Right here.
Oh, why'd turn? Never turn.
Never turn. Straight lines only. Forever. Until morning.
Okay,
But
so
really, Hero, what are we doing here? Your opponent's making a Stargate. What is your play?
he says Nexus.
I guess, but like... Okay, faster Nexus. If a Void Ray shows up, you're in a lot of trouble. You only have like... Dude.
Stalkers and zealots engaging out on the map. It's all about which
my
stalker
gosh.
comes out on top.
Brilliant.
Just like Hero gonna try and push the issue, being the aggressive Protoss he is, fires with his two stalkers onto the stalker of Classic. Zealot for no Zealot just yet. Hero still kept his alive. There's a battery, however, for Classic. He's got the Oracle too. Hero's going for his own Stargate back at home. But, I mean, if we take a look, there is a battery on the way up at home for Hero. It's not quite in the center, so there's potential for Classic to get a probe or two here, but Hero repositions his stalkers, gets a shot off on that Oracle, gonna get a couple more, might even get it.
No, it's got an escape vector here, but it has to be very careful. Yeah, it is going to be okay. Going to be just fine. Yeah, that shield battery coming up for Classic was perfect timing. Did he try to dart back in with that Oracle? Just go home, dummy.
He did.
Man, the Stalkers are going to kill you if you keep trying to go in there. Both players working on Twilight Councils. Classics is a little bit faster. Probably going to be Blink. Trying to fight Stalkers without Blink when they have Blink is a nightmare. Run, buddy.
He's not gonna make it.
What's up, John Solo?
Welcome, John. Oracle does get in. The second one for Classic pops off 3 workers and then gets chased away. It's not going to survive as long as there's a Phoenix up, so it's weird he didn't target down another probe.
Yeah, it's kind of flew around, threw a Revelation down, which is a weird idea. Yeah, I don't know, Farmer Red. I would maybe just bookmark afreecatv.com/LaughNgamez, and then every time there's an Afreeca, you just go to the bookmark. You don't have to hunt for the URL.
Or better yet,
Bookmarks are cool. It's 2005 again.
or better yet, join one of our Discords. We ping literally every time we go live for these.
Yeah, there you go. Got events set up and everything.
Okay, Phoenix come on in for Classic. Gonna kill off a couple of those probes.
Yeah, I think we said hey to John Solo. Welcome back, John Solo. Glad you're here. All right. Yeah, both players working on that Blink. These are the best of 7 finals. Yes, John.
And my gosh, PvP is just so stressful for these guys.
The Clown Fiesta-y.
Like, the amount of work they're having to put in here just to get to the 5-minute mark in the game without dying.
Yeah. Stressful, man. Yeah, and just Stalkers are the backbone of this entire thing. The whole matchup. You can't skip them.
Oh, looks like Classic getting a bit of an edge, going aggressive. Targets down the Oracle of Hero, now targeting down the Phoenix, but that is removing a lot of DPS from him. So the fight kind of turns sour for the blue Protoss. He's going to get out with a few of his units. He's got some reinforcements coming on in. There's currently 5 Stalkers dead to 4, but of course a Phoenix and an Oracle died there, so I'd say Classic comes out ever so slightly ahead. He's got a slightly faster base too. Hero's going for a Dark Shrine behind this, realizing that he killed the Oracles of Classic, and that could potentially be a game-winning decision. As okay, pardon me, there is a Robo, but there's no Observer for Classic yet.
Yeah, so it's Stalkers and then Immortals start to play a huge role in this matchup.
Okay.
DT swinging into that third base of Classic.
One trying to get into the natural base, kills off a Stalker. Good defense by the blue Protoss, who's making another Observer. He's got a Stalker in his wall. That went about as well as it could do for Classic.
All right, man. Hero trying to get a 4th base up here. Classic moving out, though. 58 to 31 army supply advantage for Classic. And here we go. Classic setting up. DT decides not to finish off that pylon. And wow, just coming right in here. Blinking in. Bam. Depowering everything at the front here.
He's got a
shield
huge
battery
army
down.
supply lead.
Yep. Immortal gets 3 volley down by the Stalkers. It is 72 to 40 army supply. Zealots as well. Hero kind of looking on helplessly. Maybe I shouldn't have tried to take that 4th base, he says.
Yeah, almost being a little bit greedy trying to take that 4th base. However, I think the Observer of Classic may have died. It did. Somehow Hero sniped it off, so his DTs can force back his opponent's army and buy him the critical time that he needs until Classic gets another Observer across the map, but he's not bringing it amidst all the chaos.
Dude, it's not even in observation mode. It's... Oh my gosh. It is just sitting there. He's making another one.
There we go. Now he's sending it across the map. But that snipe was a game saver for Hero. He's now able to make a couple Archons utilizing that those DTs. He's getting up his +1 attack, warped in more units. He's still not in a comfortable spot because his charge lock count is non-existent. He's got literally 1 compared to that of Classic. So he's warping in a few more. The Archons are going to have to do a lot of tanking for him. And we'll see if Hero can hold on. The Archons are tanking. Stalkers volleying on each side.
Yeah, man. These Archons doing great against those Zealots. Beautiful stuff. The Zealots of Classic still can't get into Hero's natural base. Warpins are keeping them out there. And Hero has totally evened up this army value situation. This is bananas.
He has, yeah. Classic really needs another Warpin, but the +1 for Hero during that fight really helped him out, whereas Classics wasn't done at the start of that fight, and Immortal's on the way for Hero. That will really bolster his defense if he's able to get that out. Gets the Observer
Observers again. DT, free reign on these Stalkers. Classic's army dwindling here. He's getting Blink Chase, which is never good. He's got his own 4th base up now, which is nice. Worker count is pretty even. And I think we just kind of stabilized. Man, sniping that obs and having those DTs from Hero really saved his bacon.
Yeah, it really did. And great play by Hero, able to pull that off. Now, he's not out of the woods just yet. These players are about even in this game. Classic's down a little bit of supply, but then he warps in and they're even all of a sudden. He's got a slightly faster +2 upgrade. Both players have 4 bases up. And this game can really start to go the distance here as these players kind of just sit back now for a second and start building up again.
Yeah, PvPs that go long are fun. They're kind of hard to find, but...
Okay, but Hero's now saying, hey,
Hey.
is it my turn to attack yet?
No, actually, it turns out it's not. Bye. Turns
Okay.
around. Archon's getting some really good shots off on these Zealots. That bonus versus biological is awesome.
Yeah, the choke point working in favor for one of these players, then it kind of swings the other way, and the angle's a bit better for Classic. A very tough position to attack through. +2 is on the way for Classic, so the longer this game goes on, the better it will be for him. Hero is just starting his now. It's about a solid 90 seconds behind that of his blue counterpart. In comes the red Protoss, looking for blood. Those Zealot Warpins going down for Classic. He's still down a significant amount of army supply, but then he's got a cannon defending as well.
Yeah, reinforcing the Stalkers here. More Zealots warping in from Hero from that War Prism. Going to join this party. The Immortal getting target fired and does get taken down. Shield battery overcharge. No, battery gets sniped. 54 to 31 army supply. It is plummeting poorly for Classic now. And that is a GG. Hero.
What a game #1 between these two. Hero was on the ropes, but with a great DT play was able to bring it back.
Yeah, some really nice back and forth DTs saving him, and then he's able to use that 4th base to power up, get some Archons out with the DT Tech 2, and then move on in and get the counterattack to victory. That was fantastic. Hero is just so good. Yeah, I don't ever want to match up against Hero in a game, I can tell you that much.
No. I don't know who would. Even for the best players in the world, when they see, like, when Dark's like, oh, Hero's playing.
Yeah.
Yikes. I have to play against him?
I guess if we have to. All right, man. Classic. Ready to rock.
Looks like both players are ready to go, so we're just going to load right on into it. Big thanks to everyone for tuning into Afreeca World 108. It's crazy we've had so many of these awesome events. Big thanks to Afreeca for sponsoring them for years and years at this point now. Apologies if it was a little unclear as to what time the events are.
Yeah, there's been some time zone and daylight savings confusion for sure, so... We're good. We're here, though. We're casting Starcraft. Everything is fine.
Yeah, we got 2 great players, and the first one with the 1-0 lead in the top right. It's DKZ's Hero.
And in the bottom left, it's our dude. It's Classic. John Solo is impressed by game #1, as I think we all are.
Are you not entertained?
Are you not entertained? We're here on Alcyone.
That's such a good movie. I rewatched that not too long ago.
It is really good. And Russell Crowe at the peak of his powers. Joaquin Phoenix is always good in everything.
Yeah.
Yep. Man, double gas coming up from Classic. definitely early for this matchup. Let's see what he's planning on doing with this gas.
Yeah.
Hero's getting a Nexus.
Wow, literally a gateway before Cybercore.
He did the thing. All right, so we thought that was happening in game 1 and it wasn't, but it is here. Gateway expand from Hero versus a double gas Cybercore 1-base shenanigan Rooney from Classic. This might not go Hero's way based on this opening build order. Where is this guy going?
I'm wondering, is Classic gonna take the gold? No. Because he hit a pylon just to mess with Hero.
Yeah. For the mind games, of course.
Notably, Hero probe scouted. Classic is just scouting out now.
Yeah, and he's like, check this out. Nexus already done.
Hero's got to be a little bit worried as he, as Classic intentionally delayed this timing on that probe scout. So Hero, he's looking around for something. He's like, are you cheesing me? Classic notably waited until the probe in his main was killed so he could take his Nexus without Hero knowing. This is why Hero is sending out this probe. He might even scout this cheeky pylon.
Yeah, man. Look at this path. Man, Classic. Is he just going to go DTs?
Could be DTs, could be Blink. He's making, or he was making 2 sentries, then he cancels one. Blink is his tech of choice. And oh my gosh. A gold base goes up for Classic. A fast third in PvP just right after his natural base finishes up. Hero completely scouts this.
Yo. Classic, buddy. I appreciate the risk. I appreciate you entertaining us.
That was just the worst timing in the world, the fact that Hero scouted that. And now it's that situation, you gotta defend a third base that's way out on the map when your opponent has gone 2 bases making immortals. I don't think that's gonna happen.
Yeah, this is problematic. Tries to force field something out, fails miserably. This Immortal's getting big, chunky hits off on everything.
Retarget from Classic, loses the pylon. Starts shooting the Immortal.
Sentries. Okay.
That was a perfect scout from Hero.
Yep. Sometimes you get that perfect scout. Woof. All right, man. Oh, looks like Classic's ready to go with his map pick. We are moving in.
Yeah, big thanks to everyone for tuning in again. If you want to see more of our content, you can check out Falcon Paladin and I on YouTube. Falcon does lots of Starcraft and lots of Starcraft 2 and lots of Brood War.
Yep. Many, many times each week.
Which is amazing dedication that you've been keeping that up so long.
It's been a while. I think I started in 15.
Jeez. 2015, that's crazy.
Yeah. Well, it's basically just a reaction to the fact that my favorite YouTubers just stopped doing StarCraft. And I was like, well, someone's got to do it. Come on, guys.
Fine, I'll do it myself.
Yeah. Legacy of the Void is coming out. Where'd everybody go? Very sad.
That's a fair response, and clearly it stuck. Well done.
Certainly. Thank you.
Okay. In the top right, we have got Twisted Classic.
And in the bottom left, Hero.
I'll let you pronounce this one.
Oh man, Radiset. But I don't think we ran into this one last time. Did
I
we?
don't think we did either. It's the first time today, that's for sure.
Pronounce Radhuset.
Is Classic going for a Nexus first or something?
That'd be fun.
He is.
Radhuset. Is it like German? No, it's like a Swedish word. What the heck? Why are we doing this? Norwegian? Radhuset. Whatever. Radhuset works. I'm gonna say that. Yeah, check it out, man. Oh! This is crazy dumb map.
Yeah, the turtle map.
Yep, the turtliest map of all turtleness.
Which explains why Classic would go for something like a Nexus first, because you can...
Very map dependent.
Look at that
Yeah, it looks
hole.
like some minerals fell down into a sinkhole of some kind.
But the
Although it kinda
hole's
looks
got
like it has teeth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's bait right there.
Yeah.
Some SCV is gonna be like, oh, sick, some minerals, and then walk in there and get eaten.
Yeah, some kind of sandworms ready to nom nom. Dune Part 2 that was moved to the spring got moved closer by 2 weeks.
Oh,
So
it was
like,
only a 2-week change.
Yeah, so it's like March something now instead of April.
I saw that it was coming faster.
Yeah, it was just 2 weeks though.
I'm like, oh. Alright.
I'll take it.
Yeah, might try and go see Oppenheimer soon, since I'm pretty sure that came back to IMAX. I never saw that.
Ooh, yeah, Oppenheimer was great. Really enjoyed it. I think Dune is on Netflix right now because HBO, who had to deal with Warner Brothers to do their content, Warner Brothers decided to go with Netflix instead.
Oh.
So a ton of WB content's on Netflix this week for the first time, including
cool.
Dune. So it's probably worth a rewatch at some point.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a great movie. I'm on the fence about wanting to get a new TV or something,
Uh-huh.
because then I can watch all the things in all the better quality.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got a projector with a soundbar set up in my basement, so
nice.
that's been really nice.
If I ever have a house with an extra room, that may be
Yeah.
the play. In comes the first Oracle for Hero, but there is a Phoenix for Classic. Gonna get to work on that right away. Securing the death of this Oracle, however, it will get itself a whopping 6-7 probes before perishing. And all of a sudden, Classic's Nexus first bonus is gone.
Yo. So we just got more Phoenix being produced, more Oracles out here too, just right into Skytoss versus Skytoss on this map. I don't know if I would have predicted that, but that's where we are.
Yeah, Classic, or Hero, pardon me, going for a second Stargate, saying, right, this is going to be all about air. I'm going to get ready to deal with that. Looks like the two Phoenix of Hero are seen, but I don't know if Classic will know there's an extra Stargate just yet. He's looking to push on in. He's also got an Oracle crossing the map. Now all of a sudden it's 2 Phoenix and 2 Stalkers against 4 Phoenix and 1 Stalker. That is not good for the red Protoss. However, if the Oracle can get into the base, it can potentially deal a lot of damage on Hero's side of the map. There's 2 Phoenix with the pop on out, but in goes the Oracle.
But
it reveals itself. A Phoenix pops and the timer starts. But he runs away.
Yeah, there's no running, dude.
Oh,
I
he
guess you could
recalls, but I don't know about that. Like, Hero or Classic committed and he got 7 kills. I feel like that would have been worth it to sack the Oracle.
Oh man, this map is crazy. Gives us crazy stuff. Phoenix swinging on into Classic's natural. A bit of a Phoenix advantage here, although
Just a
stalkers
bit.
are problematic. Yeah. And now it's even worse. Phoenix lift and kill smoothness is just so smooth and good.
Oh, yeah. Okay, it looks like the Oracle of Classic got in and was able to get a good stasis ward off, however.
Yeah. Alright. Fine. We're evening it out a little bit here. Army value about even. Heroes economy going much better. We'll see who tries to take a third base, if that's even in the cards here in this game.
I think it's gotta be, because it's such a defensive map.
Yeah, but your walls mean nothing to the Phoenix.
Yeah. Oh, Classic that is so weird, going for the gold.
I like it. He knows he's behind.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And that gold base has 2 Vespene Geysers at it.
Yeah.
Nice. No rich Vespene Geyser, though.
Okay, now Classic's still going to need to muster a great defense against these Phoenix from harassing him, though. You see Hero is transitioning back into a ground army, not going super hard on the Phoenix.
Nope.
Getting his own
Hey,
blink
what's
up.
Oh. Yeah. Blink's going to be good always. What's up, telephone and chat? Just watching a best of 7 PvP finals here between Classic and Hero. So far, so good. Oh my gosh, just swings in. No cannons? Seriously, like not a single cannon.
Yeah, and now he's going to push in, but it's the defensive map. There's an Immortal and a battery. He's going to need a really lucky engagement to make this happen. He blinks. He tries to get one of the Immortals. He does before the battery finishes it. It's such a bold attack from the red Protoss. He needs to kill that Immortal. He's trying to get it. He does get it with another volley. He can now target down the Stalkers in the midst of that battery overcharge, which just ran out, but he lost way too many Stalkers, and behind it, he lost a ton of workers, so that was not good for Classic.
No.
And he's just retreating when your opponent has Phoenix. It's never a good thing.
Yeah, you gotta stand and fight. Not good.
Okay, is Hero going to give Classic the time to come back in this game? Because he's definitely behind, down 20 army supply. Hero's got Immortals, he's getting charge, +1. Classic's got the gold base going for him though, so his income is a little bit better.
Yeah, 53 to 59 workers is better than I thought Classic would be at this point, but he's getting away with that gold base, which is awesome. These Phoenix are not going to swing in and get a million more probe kills, are they? Yes, they are.
They've got enough energy for one lift, thankfully, for Classic. Oh, that... Classic's warping in an offensive gateway. Is he just gonna try and kill these rocks and then blink in or something? Or go to the natural? But, like, Hero's army is right there. You cannot do that. Okay, there's Hero's reaction. Classic's gonna go now towards the natural and then eventually have to recall out of here. 2 probes so far. There's the recall. 2 probes for 2 Stalkers, 3 Stalkers.
Alright, wiping out some of these Phoenix. That flock is no longer as scary as it was. Okay, Classic weather in this.
What's the, I was casting the other day and I ran into this one. What's the name for a group of queens?
Oh.
Someone in the comments said a court, which I think is a pretty good answer.
Is Classic throwing up a Nexus, a forward Nexus, at the gold?
Yeah, of course, why not?
And he's knocking down this back, all of this debris.
Are these all connected?
What the heck?
I did not know that. That changes everything.
They're two separate They're two separate groups of debris, but they're all connected. What the heck?
I mean, now he can blink out. I mean, force fields and make it a little harder for Classic to get out, so he's going to trade out a lot of his Stalkers. There's Colossus out for Hero now. This is such a weird game.
It's PvP, man. Clown Fiesta on display every time.
Does he know about the Nexus? He does now, yeah. So Hero's like, you goofy goober, that's my base. Hero's gonna have a plus 2-0 upgrade advantage, which is ridiculous. He's got Colossus in his army. 4 Colossus at that.
2-0, man.
And he's digging his way out of this base. On paper, Hero is going to smash Classic, but we shall see.
It is PvP after all. Stranger things have happened.
Classic's got a bunch of zealots. He's getting 1-1 on the way, but it's so far off. And, like, I can't overstate what these Colossus are going to do to a few zealots. Like, Classic blinks forward, and it's just liquid, fiery death being shot out of these Colossus at him.
Zealots especially are just no good.
Okay, he's swinging around towards the 4th base of Hero. If he can kill that off and drag this game out a little bit, as Classic is teching the Tempest behind this, which, I mean, you may as well at this point. I don't know.
Sure, Mothership, toss one of those guys up too. Maybe you can get an amazing amazing time
maybe
warp.
not. GG.
Nope. Ah, weird map, weird matchup, weird game, 100%. But man, Hero takes that 3-0 lead in a best of 7. It is going to be tough to reverse sweep this thing.
Yeah, Hero's looking real good. Classic strategies just haven't worked out. It was darn entertaining to watch to see if he could make it work, but in the end, Hero's decision making just a little bit better, it seems.
Yeah, and I mean, this is kind of the result we were expecting.
Yeah, I
the
agree.
expected result is always the one we get. But yeah, I mean, I figured if you took a poll, most people would say that Hero is probably going to win this. A 4-0 sweep was not really something most people would be willing to say, but sometimes that happens.
Yeah, particularly in these online cups, like, momentum is a real strong thing.
100%. We have seen a couple finals in the past where the first 2 games go down, and then the player who's down is just like, nah. Help. They're just totally demoralized. It happens.
Pretty much. And in the bottom right, it's Hero.
Top left, back against the wall, but wounded animals are dangerous. It's Classic.
Ooh, I like that.
Not that Classic's an animal.
I mean, he kind of is. All Protoss are monsters.
That's a good point. I stand by it.
Okay, so we'll see the choice of strategies between these players this time. I feel like on hard lead, it's probably going to be double gas, most likely.
Don't see why not. No cannon rushes, though. Disappointed.
No, I'm sad. I want to see more pro PvP cannon rushes so I can learn how to defend them.
Yeah.
Because I have no idea how to defend a cannon rush in a PvP.
Scout it. And then if you see it coming, make your own cannons. Done.
Yeah.
It's not that easy? What? Is that what you're saying?
You mean the guy who cannon rushes all day on the ladder has an advantage over me when I face him?
Yeah, probably. That would make sense. 5,000 hours and all that.
Millions of cannons built.
John Solo was asked who he thinks is going to win this, and he said Bjorn. So reasonable. That's a good take.
I mean, never bet against Bjorn.
Even if he's not in the match you're watching.
Yeah, we'll have to get Bjorn to the next one. I miss him.
Me too. Man, he's terrifying.
Yeah, Bjorn really defied expectations in the sense that he's been around so long, I feel.
Interesting. So his career is longer than you would expect.
Well, just that his highs were so high. Like, when he won GSL and then BlizzCon.
Yeah.
It was like, by gosh.
This guy.
And then he had all the wrist issues, and it's like, I wouldn't be surprised if he retires. Because he had, like, a bad year or two after that. And then it's like, nope, he's still a god. Okay, the Adepts for Classic kind of fall flat on their face as Hero goes for a block on that Shade.
And Stalkers trade pretty well.
Both players harassing each other a little bit. Looks like they'll each lose one Adept as penance, but 2 probes if Hero died, actually, versus the one at Classic. Then Classic loses a pylon, so it'll all come out in the wash. It's like we've got an Oracle for Hero looking to make it into Classic's base, and there is very, very little defense for the blue Protoss. In comes that Oracle, and this is big for the red Protoss player. Classic's running his probes as well as he can. He loses 4, however, loses mining time. Down 5 workers 4 minutes into the game is not a good spot. Down a Nexus. And Hero, with his faster Nexus, I think is just going to need to hold on as Classic is looking to put pressure on his opponent. He's got a Prism. He's got a Sentry. He's going to need to force field Hero out of his base or out of his natural and then win the game pretty much. Okay, in goes the blue Protoss. He's got that Sentry there. He can drop a force field. There it is. Teleporting the rest of his Stalkers up the ramp. Battery overcharge gets popped. Hero actually uses recall on one of his Stalkers, which is interesting, but it worked. Classic warping in more units. Pushing forward, gonna catch Hero off guard a little bit. Volleys down one Stalker, gets a second, that's big. Force fields go down for Hero, but he's lacking damage to clean up these Stalkers until the rest of his units come from his main base. Classic microing his heart out with this Prism. My mouse appears to have died for a second there, pardon me. Stalkers, though, for Classic, look like they might be overwhelming a little bit, and Immortal pops out, but is it going to be enough? There's no batteries to heal this Immortal up, so Classic going up the ramp, he's going for blood, and he's saying, I'm not out of this series just yet. He gets the Immortal. He's going for the Pylon, which is the main source of production. He's going to target down these Stalkers before. Oh, he doesn't get one of them. There we go. He's now going to get the Sentry. Doesn't quite get his opponent's production, and he lost his Prism, so he doesn't have any reinforcements with this. He needs reinforcements, or he needs to warp something in, but Hero's going to tap out, and Classic fighting back.
Oh, man. I thought Hero would be able to withstand that. I thought for sure Classic had run out of steam, and that Hero was going to be able to stabilize. But
GG.
Oh, man. Classic fighting. Gotta love to see that. It is so easy down 3-0 to be like, well, I guess I'll try this. But man, Classic's like, I have a plan. We're gonna execute it. We're gonna win, gosh darn it.
And he did a darn good job of it. That Prism biker was insane.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I mean, any Protoss worth their salt is gonna be great at Warp Prism Micro, but all right, looks like we're going to toss on over to Solaris for game number 5.
3-1, yeah, 5.
That's how basic addition works.
Sometimes I have to second guess myself.
Especially when you're casting.
Yeah, caster math.
Worst math in the world, bar none.
Okay, and away we go, loading into match number 5. We'll see if Classic can start really giving us this reverse sweep in this one, or if Hero will be able to close it out. We saw Classic's got the juice, so he can do it. He's just gotta focus.
Yep. Got a micro like his life depends on it.
And there's Hero in the bottom left.
And top right, he not dead yet. It's Classic. Alright, PvP Clown Fiesta mode engaged. Let's see who's going to do something crazy in their opening here, because this series has been anything but standard openings.
Yeah.
However, Solaire is a pretty standard map, which does seem to encourage more standard openings.
I agree. We maybe could see like a Stargate or potentially a proxy Stargate, but with both these guys scouting, I don't think so. Hero is going for a double gas play, but so is Classic, so both guys going for the more defensive, more by offensive route, most likely.
Yeah.
Zealot for each player as the pylon block
Interesting.
shenanigans goes down.
Yep. Let's see if we're going to bother with that here. Alright. Pylon taken care of. All is well. Both players choose Stargate. And second base now on the way from both players. Hero is a little bit ahead with that, but man, pretty negligible difference at this point.
Yeah, by a hair, basically.
Yeah. Classic firing up a Stalker, and Hero throwing up an Adept, which is a bit of a build order loss.
Zealot getting caught by the Adept is a bit of a bummer for Classic. All the while Hero's Zealot is doing just fine. That could actually come back to bite him if Hero pushes a little bit. Okay, Phoenix lifts up an Adept to remove its damage for a second. Stalker working on what it can. The battery does get cancelled as Hero makes it into the main base of Classic, but it's just the Zealot that made it in. The Adept gets lifted up. So there shouldn't be too much damage, and quite a few units lost for the red Protoss.
It's always fun when probes have to try to make it a citizen's arrest on a Zealot. It's
Oh,
like,
I know. It's like, oh gosh, guys.
how many of us are going to die?
It's like you and your buddies are like, all right, let's go fight that bear.
Yeah. Like, that bear needs to be taken back to the zoo. We got this. No, turns out, no, you do not. With enough of us, though, maybe.
Classic is down on workers, so he may be looking to get some good damage done. But we see Hero kind of reading Classic, going for a second Stargate, so he's going to be able to counter Classic's Phoenix. In goes the two Stalkers of Classic. There's a battery on the way, however, for the red Protoss. He's going to lift. In goes Classic's Phoenix. That battery not being done yet is a big deal as this scrap occurs. Now the battery is done, though, and all of a sudden things are completely different as Classic has got an injured Phoenix, so that's basically written off, and Hero is going to deal with one of those Stalkers.
Yeah, it takes a million hits, but hey, you can get it done eventually. It's like watching Adepts try to kill Queens without resonating glaives. Yeah, like very, very temporary lift on that Stalker.
Just enough to give that Stalker whiplash.
Yeah. Alright. And Classic says, if you're not going to engage with me, I'll get a couple probes. No big deal. And here we go. Phoenix versus Phoenix battles. Who's winning? It looks like Hero manages to get the win here. It's 10-6 army supply, though, which is hilarious.
This is so wild. Classic, I mean, he knows Hero has 2 Stargates. He elects to throw up his own. I expected him to go for, like, just go into ground production, but he wants his own Phoenix out. We do see Hero moving across the map, though. He's got a much higher number. 5-2. Classic doesn't have a battery done yet. If Hero pounces, could be disastrous for the blue Protoss. He's got nothing on the ground to support him. He can maybe warp in a Stalker, and he's going to do so, but he's just being backed into a corner. He's going to lose his Phoenix. He's going to lose his critical mass. He doesn't have his production online yet. He's making 1 Phoenix, but
oh no.
That's just a disaster. Classic says, okay, I better start making some ground units as he throws up some gateways, but he's lost control of the skies. He's got 0 army supply and 1 gateway.
So why are we not killing probes? We out of energy?
He's got energy. I guess he's just waiting for a unit to warp in or something. This is so bizarre. Hero has gotten Adept across the map, though. Once that starts killing probes and there's no ground units to defend it, however, that's going to be disastrous for Classic. Classic throws up a battery to keep any units out of his main base. He's not giving up, and he's going to have a lot of production coming online momentarily.
Alright, so the Phoenix finally decided to go after all of these probes, using some of that energy for that. Knocking Classic down. 6 workers, never good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where's the warpins? 3 Stalkers are warping down outside of his base. We know that Hero's been waiting to lift these up, so Classic warps them as far away as he can. If Classic can win this game, I will be incredibly impressed. We see Hero splitting his units. He's looking for these. Classic's going to go across the map with his Stalkers. He's going to find some of those Phoenix. Got a Dark Shrine on the way.
When behind. This is a weird game.
Okay,
so Classic warps him in here, recalls him back home.
This is an incredibly wonky game.
Yep, even for PvP standards.
But Classic's still alive.
He is. He's only down about 7 workers. He doesn't have a 3rd base, and Hero totally does, which is a problem.
He's a gosh darn fighter. Classic, he's going to have Blink momentarily. That's really going to help out his Stalkers when it comes to dealing with this army. Can he volley down this Void Rays? He gets 1. Yeah. Blink is done now. It's not really going to help too much against the Phoenix, however, but he can deal with the units on the ground. The Phoenix are lifting up so many of the Stalkers, however.
Yeah, and again, they don't hit them very hard, but that's GG anyway. Hero.
Yeah, Classic fought to the end.
Yeah, Hero gets the 4-1 win in our best of 7 today for Afreeca World 108. And he is our champion.
Yeah, well done by Hero. Looking like a top Protoss as always. A great match and a great event overall. Thanks so much to everyone for tuning in. It was a pleasure to cast, and we appreciate it.
Yeah, that is Hero's 5th Afreeca World win, which ties him with Classic for the most Afreeca World, or the, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, the 5th most Afreeca World wins by 1 player.
Nice.
The reigning champ is still Solar with 13.
No surprise there whatsoever.
No. And now he's a GSL champion. Way to go, Solar.
Yeah, we're going to definitely have Solar back as soon as we can. And yeah, that should be in around 2 weeks when we have everyone, or when we have another set of 4 players following the awesome format that we got over here. Thanks to Afreeca for sponsoring it. And do you have anything else to add?
I think that's it. Again, next, if you want to know when the next one is, follow us both on Twitter, /LaughNgamez and /Falcon Paladin. We do tweet a few days before the event when it is established. And other than that, check us out on YouTube. Just search our names in Starcraft and you'll find us. And thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, thanks so much to everyone for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Have a good rest of your weekend. Bye-bye.
Bye.